kind of like a one-on-one style, but with three of us. So we're gonna give some updates and talk about some stuff that's happening in our collections and maybe some recent podcasts we've listened to, and whatever we kind of think of. Keith was sick tonight, so we're probably gonna postpone him for a couple weeks. We're supposed to have Elizabeth on next weekend talking about Euromastics, but I'm gonna double check and see if she's still good to go. If not, we can maybe try to get Keith or somebody lined up for the next couple weeks. But yeah, no, we should be good. And then I think we're gonna try to get some Green Tree guys on too at some point. And and then we have Dr. J lined up for the first show in July to mark the kind of like the 1 year ish, even though it'll probably technically be 53 podcasts by then or something. But is what it is. It'll be cool to have him on. And yeah, how are you guys doing?
Doing okay.
Happy to hear, Shan. I'm doing good too, man. Lots of updates, lots of things to say, but I guess we have the entire show to talk about ourselves. So it's going to be a bit of a selfish show for us this week because we got no guest, which is kind of funny. It's crazy to think, Mike, in almost a year, we've never done a show just you and I. Think about it, like
other than the first one, and then we've done like what, two or like this is like the third one with the three of us kind of thing. Is like
that's true. That's true. I think we have done well. One of them was about Shan, right?
You and I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then so like it's been a few kind of ones like this, but yeah, still no one-on-one.
All very good. True. And we had told ourselves one day we're going to do one just on Mike and just on me to tell our own story. And I guess we still haven't done it. At some point, maybe by year 3, we'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to gain some popularity before we start talking about ourselves. But we'll see.
I think the biggest problem right now is people are looking at the pictures. If you're watching it on YouTube, probably most of the people are really confused. If you guys are wondering, the person on the left, Michael, is still Michael. It's just that he lost about 5 pounds of hair. So It doesn't look like the same thing as last week. Because last week it was a full-blown like 6-inch afro. Look at how handsome he looks, man. Jeez. Yeah. So we brought on Shan purely because he's a good buddy of ours and we like chatting it up. And if we have no guests, then we can just talk all three and just shoot the shit. And I guess we're just going to see where the show goes, right, boys?
Oh, yeah. You guys have anything?
I'm kind of honored you guys got me on here. It's once in a while, but you've already kind of got my side of the story, most of it. So I'm kind of, I love being on your show. So thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Oh, yeah. No worries, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I told Shan he's basically got an open invitation. If there's good guests, he can come on whenever. So he's kind of... he's indirectly the co-host whenever he wants to. And I brought you
Rob
along
Stone.
I'm like a Lucas Lee.
Yeah, Lucas Lee or Rob Stone that can just kind of plug in and out.
Yeah, basically it, right? Mike, you want to do just our lovely commercial breaks, and then we'll start with speaking. Maybe do an update on each of us.
Sounds good. Yeah. Reptile Rejects is proudly sponsored by Cornell's World. Cornell's World is one of North America's leaders in reptile caging and reptile supplies. You can place your order today on cornellsworld.com, where you can order custom PVC cages, standard PVC cages and racks, displays, spider robotics gear from Herpstats to probes and all that fun stuff, handling gear, cleaning supplies, Arcadia, Exoterra, Zoomed supplies, and everything in between. If you have any ideas on making custom enclosures, just hit Greg up and he can shoot you a quote and probably make things happen for you. He's made some pretty cool cages, so yeah, go check out cornellsworld.com. Also, check out the Western Canadian Reptile Expo, where it hosts the biggest reptile expo in Western Canada, as well as a couple others. So coming up, we got the Medicine Hat show in June at the end of the month. And then we got the big August show in Calgary at the, where is it? Is it the Seven Chiefs? It's at a pretty big event center, but you can check it out at wcre.ca for all the upcoming events, as well as vendors and promotions going on, as well as you can pre-purchase your tickets and VIP hour passes. So go check out wcre.ca and purchase your tickets today. Alrighty, guys. Anything new with you, Dom?
That was really well done, Mike. There is a lot new, actually. But first of all, I want to address one of the things in the comments. So we are doing it at 7 o'clock, and that's my fault. So I've noticed that every single show I look half dead on YouTube, like falling asleep, like if I'm not interested, which I am, but I am half dead some of the times. Like it's getting late for me. I've usually by the time we do it, I've had a long week. So by getting up really early. So I figured if we start 1 hour early, maybe I'll look slightly more interested, even though I am. Sometimes I look at myself on YouTube when I look, or I would look at the stupid screenshot Mike takes to put into the little stories on it. I'm like, I look like eyes tiny and all that. So anyway, we're gonna try to do 7. It's not always going to be 7. I think sometimes it's guest dependent. So if a guest asks for a specific time, we modify.
Which is why some end up on Saturday, because you got guys like Adam or MJ that really like to have their Sundays to absolutely nothing because they podcast kind of more professionally than we do.
What are you talking about?
No,
we're super professional.
We kind of try to.
So the same thing with me. I'm coming off a full day's work, getting up at 3:30 in the morning, starting for 5. So I get how you feel, Dom, when you have to go to work in the morning. You feel like you're tired. Yeah, I get it.
I don't care much about going to work tired. Like it doesn't matter if I'm half efficient at work or a quarter efficient. To me, it's more like on the podcast. I look half dead, man. Like I actually feel awake right now. Just real quick housekeeping, Mike. Are you able to turn your volume and my volume down a tiny smidge and Shan's up a little bit? Because he's not as loud as us. Yours sounds decent. I don't know how I sound.
I'm also talking directly into it, so maybe I'll leave mine just in case. I can always adjust it.
Just realizing my mic's like 2 feet on my right.
Yeah, maybe I'll put yours at 50% just to be safe. And then
just let me know. Shan's the only one I can hear you, Shan, just not as loud as Mike. So I'll start. I'll go with my updates. Well, babies have been hatching, which is kind of cool. Like I've said a couple of times, it's been a really, honestly, crappy season. And crappy season, I'm comparing it to like the last year, right? And the last year has been my best year. And the year before that was my best year then. And the year before that was my best year, right? So basically, I've been doing better and better to the point where I almost did too good last year that I told myself I would never go over 100 babies now. But I've had a pretty crappy year. That being said, I had 4 clutches in the incubator. My first clutch, which was a granite, so we're talking about IJs or West Papuan carpet pythons. I had a granite het exanthic, possible exanthic female bred to a granite het exanthic male. So the first part is the female didn't prove out, which just sucks. So now I didn't get any marbles. But on the upside of that, I got some really funky looking babies. I got 2 of them that came out like insanely light, which I'm guessing they definitely have the het. Which again, just so people know, I'm saying het, and it's actually the completely wrong way of calling because exanthic is incomplete dominant. So it should actually be an exanthic and a double visual exanthic, or a super exanthic if we call it that. But everybody has always called exanthics an exanthic is a double allele animal, so a double visual, and a het is a single visual, which again, anyway, it's one of my pet peeves in the hobby, right? We adopt certain terminology, and even if it's wrong, we kind of just run with it. So they are single allele exanthics and or het exanthics, which is the wrong term. They're really nice, and the weird thing is their sides are completely white, like they're patternless, which is really bizarre. I honestly don't know what to make of it. Mike, I had sent you pictures, right? Are you able to pull them up, or do you know how to do that?
I can email them to myself, and I can pull them up in a minute.
See if you can do it while I check. Because
they're either going to be something like totally different, or maybe they're just going to be like really yellow granites, I think, right? You know, like when you see like those lighter granites, like I guess like the female you have, but like maybe it's just going to be more like less black flecking on it and more just like kind of yellow color coming up the sides.
But when you think of
That's kind of
Xanthic,
what I'm gonna guess it's gonna look like. But they do like have that different tint to them, so you never know. So I'd say raise them up and see what happens, kind of
so
thing.
I'll definitely raise them up. I think so. Xanthic removes the yellow pigmentation, right? So my guess is they will not be yellow. I'm thinking they're probably going to just be paler in color, but I honestly just think it's going to be a pale looking granite, which is still cool. I just wonder if pattern will come on the sides because it's really bizarre. It's a cool clutch. The other thing that I've had this year, and guys, if you do you guys want me to just talk about like one thing and then shift to somebody else, or you want me to just keep chatting for a while?
Keep going.
Okay. So the other thing I had is that two clutches hatched out basically at the same time, and I've had a really garbage luck with mold this year, and honestly, it's throwing me a loop because I have no idea why. Like I incubate the same way I incubate every year, and I tend to get about like 90 plus to 95% hatch rate in all my bins. And this year, the clutch of granites, I only hatched out 7 of, I'd have to go look at the numbers. In my head, I have 13, 14 or something like that. I lost about 50% of the clutch to mold, which sucks. And like people are like, well, maybe there's something wrong with your incubator. The clutch right beside, I had 10 eggs, 2 slugs, and I got 100% hatch rate. So is there something wrong with the incubator? It's kind of hard to say there's something wrong when one of them has 100% and the bin literally on the same shelf, one beside each other, has 50% hatch rate.
I
So
got a question for you.
yeah, go for it.
Your what you lay your eggs on the diffuser, how are you washing that? Because I know every year it kind of gets a little dirt or a little mold, right? And I had the same problem last year where it would just start molding without an egg. I didn't even have an egg in there, and all of a sudden it was creating mold, and I hadn't cleaned it enough. I put it in the dishwasher. So I don't know if that's could be
So
something. I don't know.
it definitely could be, but here's my thinking, and you'll probably laugh. So I honestly always wash my egg crate just in a sink with some soap, Dosh, just Dawn soap, whatever, and just like shake it as hard as I can in the water, let it dry, rinse it, let it dry, and call it a day. And next year I use them again. Okay, which is really not that sanitary, and I think I've done that like 5 or 6 years in a row, and I've never had any issue. This year, though, I actually took every single one of my egg crates and I put them in the dishwasher. So before this season, so everything was fully sterilized, which is funny. So now I'm going to say that maybe the dishwasher caused the problem. Probably not, but
I don't know. I don't doubt it. I don't know. There's got to be something else.
But
So it's kind of
eggs
weird
should
though.
withstand mold anyways. If they're good eggs, they should be able to make it through.
I'm pretty
So
sure they were.
But you don't want to
I would say
start.
it's almost something to go with the eggs themselves, maybe not being those like eggs that like they talk about the blackhead eggs that look like they got water on them or something, when actually it's just the embryo dying because it wasn't strong or because something else went wrong, and it had nothing to do, like they were kind of set up to fail to begin with, in terms of like wasn't really your fault kind of thing. So that could maybe be it, but you never know, kind of thing. I guess you'd have to see how it goes. You only have like one more clutch maybe, but no, not really.
I've got 2 more clutches, which the other one is almost a joke, but I'll tell you about it after. So going back to this, so it almost looks, if you're on YouTube right now and you're looking at it, look at the sides. They're extremely pale. It almost looks like you're looking at their ventral scales, but it's not the ventral scales. Those are the side of the body scales. And I mean, if you compare it to the other babies on the side, it's like I don't know if there's actually anything going on, but if you compare it to other babies, like look at the really dark one. The really dark one you'd say is not het. Beside the dark one, there's a lighter one that you'd say is het xanthic, and then there's a light one with the pale sides, right? So there's 2 of them that look identical as that. So I just think it's a really cool looking animal. We'll see what it does, but I mean, it's different, right? So I don't know if it's going to be something. That being said, you guys want to know what is cool? It is the first time ever I've bred a granite to a granite, and I've done a lot of IJ pairings. I think I've had IJ pairings like for the past 8 or 9 years, like every single year. It's the first time I bred, and I hear still a lot of people talking about granites like they're a weak gene or they're something that's a problem. If you've started from hets and you've mixed in other things, I have had literally zero issues ever from all the different pairings. And these are, well, the parents aren't siblings, but it was a granite to granite pairing, 7 babies, no kinks, no eye issues, nothing is smaller. Everything is basically perfect. They're big individuals. Okay, I got a shit hatch rate though. One could argue and say that could be a problem. So, but I mean, all the babies look great to me. Yeah, so that's my first
Yeah.
clutch. You guys,
Yeah, no, that looks pretty cool. Like, who knows? Like, maybe it is just like a reduced pattern granite in terms of you just lucked out and hit one that's just gonna
but I
have
hit
more,
2.
or hit two, right? But yeah, no, it'll be cool to see how these develop. I'm sure Eric will be interested, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
I'm
see.
interested.
Again, the
Now,
female
now
is
you need to breed it
insanely
back
light.
to a normal and see what pops out.
Well, you either breed it back to a normal, or you breed it back to the parents.
Yeah,
Bring it back to the parent, to a parent.
I would say that would be where you could maybe run into some more inbreeding depression. So, but
Yeah,
if you
but
do that, have you sexed it? Are they male or female?
so I was gonna say the 2 of them are males, so I can guarantee I
So
can breed it back to
could,
mom.
yeah, you can breed it back to mom, and you can breed it to
Yeah.
a normal female as well if you wanted, and kind of
Oh,
see the differences, or if there's any differences, or if it's just a really cool looking granite. Either way, it's pretty cool.
yeah.
I really hope it holds its color. Like I figure 2 or 3 sheds. Remember, Dom, we had on Snake. It was I think it was a het albino, and it had a white side at one point. Remember, you had hatched it out, and with time, it did get color. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think the sides will stay no pattern. Let's put it that way. I
Yeah,
figure
I
if
mean,
it doesn't have any pattern now, why would it kind of like have pattern later? You know what I mean?
I find sometimes the pattern tends to, it might just be the dark pigmentation that comes in later and then fills it up, right? Because the dark pigmentation does tend to come every shed. So who knows? Either way, I think it's cool. My second clutch that hatched out this week was inland pythons. So I had 10 babies, 10 eggs, and 2 slugs. 10 eggs hatched out. Um, and just to give a funny story, I thought I had 10 eggs in there. I opened the incubator, I counted the eggs. I had 9 without realizing that I'd taken 1 egg out that was empty and just put it on the side. Counted the babies. I had 9. Anyway, I set them all up. I'm like, cool. The next day I come and I find a little baby perched on one of the shelves inside the incubator. So apparently I did have 10. Just one of the babies actually got out of the egg box out of one of the holes that you do for breathing that I had opened up, and it was enough for him to get out. So I did have 10. I just lost him inside the incubator for a day or two. Inlands are cool. They're 50% Schofield, 50% Mog. Beautiful animals. And last year I bred the exact same pairing. I got a 8.2, which really sucked as odds. This year I got 10, and I got 10 eggs last year too. Right now I think I'm either at 5.5 or 6.4. One of them I wasn't too certain, but at least I have more females this time. And then I have a third clutch that finally hatched this morning, but I'll pass the ball to somebody else, let you guys chat a bit, and then I'll come back to that one. So who wants to go up, Mike or Shan?
Yeah, Shan can go. I'll send
Sure.
your pictures.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my first clutch that hatched. I just sent some pictures to Michael. So the pairing was 50% zebra, ocelot, German lion, female carpet python to Bonnie's. So basically, Favel lion, one of Dom's babies that actually both male and female are both Dom's, but a baby from Bonnie basically was the male that did that, and that was a zebra ocelot clutch. Did pretty good. I had 14 eggs, 12 hatched out, 2 supers, 2 well, one really nice ocelot zebra. Yeah, so I think that one's going to be really nice. It almost looks like mom. So that'll be nice, but that one's a male. Yeah, there you go. That nice one there. That's all in tree there. Looks exactly like mom. Yeah. Um, Doing really well. Sexed them. Lots a few males. I call quite a lot of jungles in there too, or jungle ocelots. But they'll brighten up. Right now, they haven't even shedded or anything. Right, they're only like 4 days or 5 days out of the eggs. Right, so
Oh yeah, yeah. They'll come in and they'll look really nice, and as they age, right? Like I remember Dennis McNamara when he first went on NPR, and he's like, "Yeah, for Daytona, I always bring the year and a bit old carpet jungles just to because they'll sell like hotcakes for whatever he prices them at, right? Like you can bring them to a show at a year old, and they're actually yellow, so they'll sell all day long, kind of thing. Because it's really tough for him to. I just remember that kind of thing. It was always something that stuck in my head.
yeah, and I've already actually sold one. I got a deposit on one already.
There
They're
you
that
go.
they sell that good. Like Dom's will admit it. They're the best selling thing. Jungles just don't last.
Hands down, the
They're
best moneymaker.
so easy to get rid of, right?
Yeah,
I don't.
we've never had enough every year. Let's put it that
Right?
way. But some other carpets don't sell, and the other big moneymaker that Shan had all the time that he did for years were Brazilian rainbow boas. Those two were
Uh,
just like
did,
pocket
did
change.
did you just get a message from Wayne?
Yeah, I did. So
Right?
Wayne, if you're
There you
listening,
go.
congrats, buddy.
Congrats, buddy. So that's my
He
snakes that bred for him. So I've been kind of guiding him through that, right? So I'm pretty happy about that, right? So yeah, he's like what is it, 4 slugs or 5 slugs and 14 babies. So there's a good
Yeah,
money
it's not a
maker
bad
for him,
clutch
right?
or litter.
So that
yeah.
all came in, and just so everybody knows, I didn't sell them to him. They came from Jen. Jen sold it to him, and he didn't even know what he was given. And I gave specific, like exactly what everything was to Jen. And yeah, anyway, I'm glad he's got them because he's a friend of ours, right? So it's kind of good that he's got them. I'm kind of happy about it. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's always good to see somebody else in the hobby be successful, right? So, no, pretty happy about that.
I wish everybody success, man. You can never have
Absolutely.
enough clutches, enough eggs out there, enough babies out there. So, so Shan, congrats on the ocelot. Is your next clutch the one I think you're going to talk about?
Well,
before that?
I've just started a new. So I'm a new spotted python breeder, I guess. I guess, yeah. So I got some eggs on that too. So took forever. So I'm just gonna say it out there. If anybody from NPR is listening, we need a calendar. I'm sorry. I'm so used to having a calendar for the last few years, and kind of nice to have that nice snake in the background to look at it and keep your post shed. Mark them down on your calendar and everything. And so since that time, I've had a hard time keeping track. I mean, it's a poor excuse, but anyway, it's good enough to get another
It's not. Those
calendar.
Shan and I have talked about that. Like,
right?
when you put down like your shed, your prelay, your due date is this and all that, you can now. I never know when to expect eggs this year because I had no calendar on the wall. I have no calendar on the wall. I didn't put a circle like expecting this day. So now every single day, I've had to literally go in every cage, look, no eggs, which female could still be laying. I got to go check. Man, not having that calendar has screwed me over this year. I don't think it really made a huge difference, but it's increased so much of my workload. And if you're a Canadian, their goddamn NPR calendar costs like 46, 47 bucks Canadian, which is ridiculous for a calendar because I could go to the dollar store and buy one for $1, right? But I still want it. So Owen, I love you, buddy, but Eric, let's be honest, it's Eric doing it, right? Eric, get your ass up and make the goddamn calendar this year so I can give you a lot of money because I want it. Sorry, Shan, go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm on board. Get bugging them on that. No, for sure. So yeah, had 12 eggs, no slugs on that one. So really good. She did really well. And again, animals I got from Dom. So 2023 animals. Super happy about that. It's a new species under my belt. It's not a big deal. I mean, but it's kind of nice to just do that and just put it out there,
Don't
Why
bring it
not?
down. I think it's pretty cool. Like, look at how many spotted
Yeah.
pythons clutches
Yeah.
are born every year in Canada. There might be just not even a handful. Like, you hear of one or two, few people. It's not a python. They're
Yeah.
easy to breed, but it's not a python that's often bred. So I just think
Yeah,
it's cool because
there's probably like
I mean,
five. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5 to 10 every year. It's just hard to see, right? Because like them and children's are like one of those that like they're around, but you have to like keep your eye out and scoop them up when you see them, kind of thing, right?
they're honestly hard to find. Like, not a lot of people, and they don't go for a lot of money, right? Like, I think I've always sold them wholesale for $200 because like somebody would be like, "I'll buy all of them for $200 each," and you're like, well, it's hard to refuse 2 grand and not have to feed 10 babies, right? So you usually let them go. But I mean, realistically, they're probably what do you guys think? Like a $300 python?
They'll like children's and spotteds will retail probably 250 to like 354 maybe, which is not bad, right?
I
Like
was
that's
gonna,
not bad.
I
Like I
was
would
gonna
say
say
like their
250.
wholesale would probably possibly drop down to 125 depending on the animal. That's still not the worst, right? Like
Yeah, the thing
if you
is
hatch
though,
10, that's cash in your pocket, right?
I
but
already
with
sold
well,
2 of them.
what was that, Sean?
I
I didn't hear
already
what you said.
sold 2 of them.
Oh, I was gonna say because we have less snakes this year, we're probably gonna do a lot less wholesaling because it's just not worth it. If
Yeah.
you don't have that many, it's easier
Well,
just to sell them.
And you have the time,
so
right?
hang
Like
on
now that you're
here.
not taking care of 100 babies, you can take your time
I guess
selling
Shan's
them as
gonna have a
well,
lot of
right?
eggs.
I'm gonna have some eggs. Wonder Woman's not eating. I tried to feed her this weekend and refused. She's fat,
She's a big Bredley for anybody listening.
right? So you're looking for Bredley pythons. I still have some available that are eating now from this year, like only 3 of them. I have a few inquiries already, but they're gonna go pretty quick, and then I'll have a few clutches. I think the G stripe pairing is gonna go too, so I'm gonna have 2 clutches this year. So that
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So Shan, just keep in mind you're saying G stripe Bredley, just so people can follow
G
Bredley
stripe
Python.
Not
Sorry.
ball
If
pythons.
you're saying
not ball python. Sorry,
sometimes
no
you're saying
ball
that,
python.
like Wonder Woman's gonna go,
No.
and everybody's like, "What the fuck's Wonder Woman?" Like, so
So that's the name of the snake that
I'm just messing with you.
that you called. Actually, I didn't call
Yeah,
it
it's just
that.
like Eric talking about his stuff, and when you first listen to NPR, you're like, although it kind of gets ingrained in your head when he says like Molly Ringwald, and when Owen talks about Talon, and like those ones that you remember kind of thing, like those ones kind of stick in
Yeah.
your head. But
But
like,
we've been
yeah,
listening to that for like 13 years, right? Like you're saying Talon is some kind of a caramel jag, I think, or I don't know if there's a jag, but it's a coastal
something like that.
and like and
I think he's still alive. Maybe.
yeah, and then the kids are like some kind of a sound to their isn't it? Like doesn't he have like percussion? Like, oh man. He has a
Maybe.
couple of snakes that are related
What
to
was
sounds.
the one that he almost broke that was like super big, but I think she's still alive that he was gonna breed this year
Oh,
too.
I thought that was his entire collection. Is it everything gigantic? We love you, Owen. Sorry.
Yeah, they just actually talking about recent things. They all just went down to Louisiana and Mississippi and went herping, trying to find Louisiana pine snakes and cane brakes and that. Which they did find the cane brakes, but Louisiana pines are next to Kentucky pines are one of the rarest pine snakes in the U.S. But yeah, no, it
Now,
looks like they had a great time. Him,
did you
Eric.
see Eric's face? Like he was
Oh yeah,
looking super happy, eh?
oh yeah, and he's definitely looking
Big
way
smile on his
healthier.
face, got a snake in his hand.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
he looks at
right?
home, kind of doing that stuff too.
Absolutely.
You can definitely see the work he's put in the gym in the last year as well. So that's good to see him looking healthy now. So that means we should see more podcast eventually. But hey, they still release Reptile Fight Club every week or two. So I'm happy. Yeah, and Rob Stone was there with them, and I saw Brandon Valentine was there too, who was a guest a few months ago on our podcast. So yeah, it looks like they had a fantastic trip. Saw a bunch of rat snakes, got to tune out from the world, and yeah, that's always fun to see. And I know upcoming stuff they got. I'm not sure if they're going, but we got IHS happening in July, which will be a really cool event for anybody that wants to go to that. It'll be the 50th anniversary of the International Herpetological Society slash Symposium. I know it's a symposium, but I think it's run by the International Herpetological Society, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, it'll be at Bob Ashley's and the Chiricahua Desert Museum. So that would be like insane to go. Except the closest hotel is like an hour away because it's like in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico. But you can go herping after all the talks and stuff. You can go look for rare mountain rattlesnakes and western green rat snakes and Arizona mountain kings and diamondbacks, and that'd just be such a well. It's a cool place to go to, anyways. But man, that would be the herper's kind of dream, where you can go herping and listen to nerds and meet some, as the Trumbauer and Barkers will probably be there, right? And everybody else that's kind of been around, because it's also the 50th, so you're going to bring some people out of the woodwork to come out for that too. So yeah, no, anybody going to that, I hope you guys have a fantastic time, even though it's still a little ways away. Yeah. Should I talk about myself now, even though I hate talking about myself?
Yeah, go for it. I know Shan has one more update on another clutch, which I
Or
really want to get
maybe.
into later.
Oh, okay.
But
Sounds good.
well, I got one update. You got another update. Let's go,
Either
Mike.
one. I got a few of them, but that's okay. We got all
Okay.
night.
Yeah, I don't have too much, so we can get back to Shan and Dom once I'm done my short little thing. Yeah, Newts are still doing good, raising those guys up. Probably won't be available till, I'm gonna guess, like September maybe, but maybe August. I don't know. They're growing nicely, but they take about 5-6 months to raise up to their kind of sellable size, which is totally all right, because they're just really cool. It's fun kind of having that fish mindset of raising baby fish kind of thing, and then now you're moving it over to caudats or newts, and it's kind of that, like, kind of the same thing, and it's really straightforward, honestly. It's just you got to keep up on the weekly water changes and daily feeding, but it's not nothing out of the world. It only takes like 2 minutes a day to really do that kind of thing. Yeah, those are doing good. Kentucky female is actually laying right now, so have more Kentucky pines this year. I see 6 good eggs. She dropped one like a couple weeks ago randomly that doesn't look good, so I'm gonna assume that one's, well, it's already looking not great. So it looks like I'll have probably 7 good eggs, because I see she has one more left when I checked on her right before the podcast, because I was like, well, she should be done by now. No, there's still one left.
Is that a big clutch for her, or is that the average?
She had 9 last year, so technically she would have had 8 this year, which is not bad. I think she had 7 or 8 her first year, so yeah, it's fine. It's kind of average. I've heard them have more, but she's not like 7 feet, right? She's only like probably honestly just under 6 foot. So yeah, I'm happy with it. You can't complain. They're awesome animals, and they're special, so it's cool to get anything out of them, kind of thing. They're not so like Kentucky's give you probably about that many. You might get some other northerns that'll give you maybe a few more, like the Jersey ones, the different locality of northern pine snake. And then Florida's seem to only have a few. Black pines seem to only have anywhere from 3 to 8, maybe. I could be wrong there. Maybe can have more if you get a bigger animal. But Louisiana pines are the ones that are known to have like 1 to 5 kind of thing. Like
I was
they have
wondering
even
if they
bigger
were.
eggs.
That's exactly what I was wondering, if it was one of those species that has the gigantic monster eggs.
Yeah, like her eggs are big. Like they're that big. Like she has large eggs, but she still has like 7 or 8, which is kind of cool. But
Compare
yeah,
it
no,
to
like
something like eggs, like chicken egg or ball python size egg.
chicken, like probably ball python. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Like kind of maybe not that big, but
Yeah, but I
like
mean, you're showing a circle. Look, I can make the circle bigger or smaller, right?
I know, right? Like
How close you are to the
it's hard to
camera.
describe. Like they're definitely large coming out of her, kind of thing. But yeah, like I don't know, ball python, like probably longer than a chicken egg, but still like pretty big. Like they hatch out and they're like I can feed them hopper mice probably
Like
straight out of the egg.
Not like Angolan python size or retic size here,
Uh,
right?
Probably. I haven't seen an Angolan egg, but honestly, probably about the same size as an Angolan if we're thinking along the same lines there.
Yeah, I'd argue
Maybe a
it's
touch smaller.
Angolans. Yeah, as you say,
I
Angolans are
don't
a
know.
tad bigger than ball python eggs. Anyway, the
Yeah,
ones
it's hard to
I've had,
say, right? Like it's one of those like they're not small eggs either way, right? Like they're like I start them on fuzzy mice, but you could feed them hopper mice if you wanted to, or straight out of the egg kind of thing. And they usually like they're pine snakes, so like they're like bull snakes. You can get them feeding like on frozen within the first couple weeks most of the time. Like you might get one that might need a little bit alive, and then you just kind of ease it over to frozen right away, and it's fine. So yeah, no, those will be good. I see the Trans-Pecos went into shed, so it's looking like I might end up with 2 clutches. We'll see. Maybe that one female will actually give me a fertile clutch this year. I don't know. Uh, but I'm hoping the other one still gives me another good clutch so I can actually maybe sell some. Well, I did sell 2, but have a few more available kind of thing would be nice. And then black milk female is I think in her prelay as well. So probably 3-ish weeks away from eggs from her. And the best news is that last weekend after the podcast. Sorry, there's somebody at the door.
you want to go answer it, and we'll chat a bit.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
can tell us your good news after. All right. So I guess I'll go with my last update. I've had shit luck with coastal carpets for the past 2 years now, and I started having less and less productions for the past 2 years when I decided to put my good male away. Like I have this male that is in the more complete carpet python. If ever you guys want to see it, it's under the morph. He's a super caramel exanthic carpet python. Anyway, so he was a really strong male, and he's getting old. Like he's 7 or 8 years old. So back then, like he was pretty expensive, and he's been my main breeder for years. Like I think I've paired him up to tons of Shan snakes too, and he's produced tons of our babies. Anyway, 2 years ago, I decided to stop using him because every single one of my babies in my hellback came back from that one male. So I got a new male, which was a super hypo tiger, and I wanted to start using him for a lot of things. So last year, I bred him to 2 of my females. Nothing happened. It was the first year I did not produce any coastals. This year, thinking, okay, that male's now a year older, he'll be fine. I decided, you know what, I'm still doing it again. So my good male went with Shan's females, which surprisingly nothing happened to. So which kind of sucks. But that good male paired up with 2 of my females. He locked up with both of them the entire time, on and off, one, 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 one. One's an exanthic female. The other one is a hypo caramel tiger. These are coastals we're talking about, just in case. And anyway, my hypo caramel coastal laid. So she laid a nice big clutch of 16 or 17 eggs. And of course, they all looked like shit slugs, except 2.5 eggs looked like I had one boob egg that had a nice white side on it, and 2 of them that were maybe fertile. One had a little bit of red, the other one was like a little bit of red, but more yellow than anything, and everything else was like a slug, half the size, super tiny, and looked like shit. So I put the 2.5 eggs in the incubator. The boob egg died in a day. The one that was half size died. I don't know. I'm saying dead. I don't think there was anything in it. Rotted in pretty much 2-3 days. And then I was left with 1 egg in the incubator. So I've had 2 clutches hatch, right? My first one was due, let's say, last week on a Monday. The next one was due on a Friday. So the clutch on Monday hatched. 2 days later, the clutch of Friday hatched. So they were both like at the end. This clutch of the 1 egg should have hatched, I don't know, like in between, right? So he's at day like 55, 54. So I'm like, the egg doesn't look great. It looks like partially brown and shit like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna cut it to see. So I cut it, and let it behold, there's a goddamn snake in there, and it's alive. It's moving. So At first, I cut just like the little line, but I could look inside and it looked like, you know how when sometimes the yolk inside is really cloudy? When it turns into that white cloudiness instead of being transparent, you're like, oh, that snake's dead, right? Because as soon as it gets that cloudy, so I kind of butchered the egg like a retic breeder. Like I literally cut a big circle around it, thinking that it was dead because again the mucus, not the mucus, what is that thing? The yolk, the clear yolk was not clear. It was gray pasty a little bit. So I was like, oh, it's dead. I'm just going to pull it out and see what's in there. And then it moved. So I'm like, oh shit. So I put the flap back down and I left it in there. So I opened that egg on Tuesday. We are now Sunday. And every day I keep looking into it and I'm like, is it dead? No, it's alive. Is it dead? No. And finally, after day 3, just the head would stick out of the egg. I'm like, oh, I might actually have one baby survive for my coastal clutch. And day 6, like a quarter of its body came out and not, but there's this like white chunk of egg in there that, you know how sometimes there's like these buildup of stuff that builds up inside an egg? I don't even know what they are, but anyway, to this, like literally right before this podcast, I came out. I went to go check up on the egg, and let it behold, this little guy actually is alive, and I will try to share it. And so I produced a clutch of one baby, which I guess it counts. So I did produce coastals this year. I don't know if that's really an accomplishment, but you know, it's something. Here, I'm just pressing share. So here is, let me know when you guys see it. So here is the little baby coastal. Do you guys see under the coastal that big mass of pink there? Can you guys see the picture or not yet?
Yeah. Yeah. That just looks like yolk, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but anyway, so that little guy made it. He's out today, so I'm very happy to say I've got one whole baby. And that's, if I just switch the picture. Really cool thing is it's the first time I've ever bred a tiger to a tiger, which I mean, I only have
Oh,
one,
that would
but
have been cool if you had a whole clutch of them. I do
it
love.
would have been much nicer.
If
I would have been
I get
curious to see.
coastals,
That
I
thing
need
has
it.
an
I need a
amazing
tiger.
stripe.
Yeah,
That
I
thing
mean,
has
it's
an
got
amazing stripe. It's
yeah,
really nice.
I think it's 100% with zero breakage. I might be wrong, but I don't think there is any. So it's got a nice stripe. Unfortunately, I only have one, so obviously it's a holdback. It is automatically tiger, obviously from tiger to tiger. It's automatically hypo because the dad was super hypo. The mother was hypo caramel. So I don't know if it's super hypo and I don't know if it's got caramel. That in time I will be able to figure it out. And there are some markers that are not discussed yet that could identify as super hypo. So I shall see if they hit those or not. But you know, I guess it's my holdback. And
Is that
sorry, go.
is it ever dark? Though I would have thought, it would have been lighter, right? Being
It's
like a chance at being a super or even like
Maybe it's just
a
the angle of
hypo
the
or a
picture
caramel, right?
or something. You
It's
never
I
know.
there
mean,
was no
usually,
lighting. It's like
okay.
pretty shitty lighting, but it is dark. So my guess is it's just a hypo. If I had to guess, I think I hit nothing. I'm willing to bet you it is a tiger hypo and nothing else. That would be my guess because I've seen him much brighter than that.
I wait a shed.
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna hold it back, and it's a
Oh, yeah,
female,
yeah.
so
I
uh,
really think one shed's going to make a difference. I think she'll brighten up.
yeah.
I
Well,
really, but anyway, yeah,
so that's my third clutch.
nice.
I mean, it's not much. I don't even know if you can call it a clutch. My third egg hatching. My a clutch of one egg. I just find it funny because you know how sometimes you get an entire clutch of slugs. You're like, well, this is garbage. One egg actually was fertile in there, so it's kind of cool. I'm glad I have it. I have I don't know. I don't even. I think I have 19 babies this year, and I have only 5 eggs left in the incubator, which is insane because I hatched out 130-ish babies last year. So, and the only thing really left to update is I found a slug in one of my jungle's cages, just like a single slug out there, which usually is a really bad sign when you find a slug because you're like, oh, all the slugs are coming. But I was counting and it was about day 14. So you're like, if they all drop right now, it's too early. if a python lays like around day 14, especially carpets, it's too early. It's going to be a garbage clutch. But that was 6 or 7 days ago, and we're now around day 20, and no more slugs came out. So I know there's something in her. So I might be lucky enough to get one more clutch. Fingers crossed, although she's not inverting. She's not really laying the right way, but she's round and there's something in her. So fingers crossed I get a little bit more good luck. Well, some good luck because I've had a lot of shit luck. Um, yeah, and talking about shit luck, I think I'm going to pass it to Shan, and Shan can talk to us about what's going on in his world, in the beautiful world of ivories.
All right. Well, I guess I might as well get it over with now before I still have two other clutches to talk about. So I did have Bonnie did lay some eggs. Another 2.5 weeks for Bonnie eggs. I think there's 16 in the incubator. One's rotting out, and the
And
other
what
ones
is
are
Bonnie?
fine. So Bonnie is yes, zebra ocelot a Favel line. So um, I'll, I'll see if I can find a picture once
And
everybody
that zebra
is
ocelot is
talking.
a retic, right?
Carpet python. That's what we're talking about tonight. I don't own any of that good
I'm
stuff.
I
just
think we all
messing with
know
you,
they're
bro.
carpets. Well,
Right?
I guess we shouldn't say
I know.
that, but
I,
yeah.
is there even such thing as a zebra
So there
retic?
is ocelot in retics. That's the only
Oh,
Is
reason I
there
yeah,
started
really?
yeah.
with it.
There's I
Is there
actually I
really?
remember
I didn't
seeing
know.
that when thou who should not be named was breeding the first few, and I think he
Yeah.
it was one of those animals that he probably paid 50 grand for, right, when the first ocelot retics were being made, and then I think Kevin bought that first production as well. So yeah, they're kind of they're
Okay.
retics though, right? Like they're not great. That whole retic industry is not a good industry at all. But yeah.
So tell you the truth, the Giants. I did the Giants when I was younger. I don't want to do that. It takes a lot of room. Um, they were really cool at the time, and yeah, they're just not for me. They're beautiful animals. I'll look at them. Somebody has one. I'll handle it with care because it's a retic. But yeah, no, not interested in that. Um,
And how many eggs did Bonnie lay?
around 16, I think, if I
Oh, good
remember.
for you, man.
So
She's gorgeous.
one's rotted out, and I'm 2.5 weeks away, and the eggs look better this time than the eggs from the female I just had. Like the females I just had, they sunk a lot, and I was like, oh, these babies are going to be either really weak and stuff. But now that they're out, they're really good. They all came out. They all pipped by themselves. So pretty happy with that. The last clutch that I have on the ground is the gray bands. I had 16 eggs, no slugs, so pretty happy with that. The one thing I have with that girl though, so as everybody knows, you can double clutch. So not that I'm trying to do it on purpose, but I mean, at the end of the day, I did it last year, and it's really no effort. If anybody knows how to double clutch, it's like give it 2 meals. I don't even have to put a male in there, and here you go. I got a gravid snake again. The issue I've been having is she regurgitated on me, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe on the weekend I'll try to feed her and see what happens. Maybe she got, I don't know. I just not a good feeling when you come into your room though, because you can smell it. Ooh, it's pretty nasty. So on the ivory side, oh man, it's like a kick in the whatever. It's pretty hard. So what was it? Friday morning, I get up, I do some cleaning. I got a few feedings to do. So that day was after I did some adult cleaning. I was gonna feed some of the males because I don't usually feed the males a whole lot. So I decided to feed the ivory male. Basically frozen thawed rat to him, and I heard him kind of like latch on to it. I just walked away, did my thing. I had a doctor's appointment for my mom. I come back 2 hours later, start checking on the snakes. I look in the tank and the rats, I can see a part of the rat sticking in underneath the hide. And right beside it, I see the snake, and the snake kind of looks weird, and the snake's dead. My male ivory is dead. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty hard. So just to put in perspective, everybody. So in Canada, there's none in Canada, zero in Canada. I am the only ones that have them. And I'm not trying to brag about that. By all means, if anybody ever had some, I would be buying some from you. As far as I know, there's probably none in Europe. And the only place you can get them is in the United States. And a few guys have them in the United States. Obviously, Nick Munn has them. Brandon Wheeler, I've seen he's got some. Recently saw a post from William today. He's got 50% ivories that clutch coming. So congrats, William. But yeah, like they don't exist here, and you can't import from the US. So I'm kind of SOL. Saving grace is I do have enough to keep the project going, but it kind of puts you back, right? So last year I had 8 eggs. My bad, had a fuck up, and I lost 5 out of the 8 eggs, and I had 3 eggs left over. I had 1 female jungle ivory, and then I had 2 zebra of the ivory clutch, and they're the 2 males. So 2 males, 1 female, and now I still have the original female, and that one's zebra. And actually, she's looking kind of weird, so I'm keeping an eye out. Like it's kind of like blue flag right now. I'm keeping an eye out. She's acting really weird, so he might have did the job. Fingers crossed. Oh man, I would be so happy. That would be that would save the day.
I thought when you were saying she's acting weird, as in like you were keeping an eye on whether you were going to lose her or not. I was like, oh man, that's just terrible.
No,
but she's acting weird in a good way.
Yes, sorry, yes. So yeah, she's looking plump, and I haven't fed her in a little bit. I haven't tried to feed her, but I'll try that sometime this week and see what happens. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I had I texted Dom on that one, and I'm like, what could have happened? I mean, this snake was in perfect health. Everything was great with the snake. Literally, like 2 weeks before that, 2.5 weeks before that, I saw it locked up to my female. Everything was good. Like no RI, like nothing. No nothing. Everything good. No lumps, no nothing. Like
so you were talking about a bit of the ideas, but the one thing I'm thinking here is your male it's a male that died. He falls at the exact age where cancer kills all the males, right? That age where he's like between the 3 and the 2 and the 4-year-old, where they're just new sexually mature males. You remember how Nick Munton has talked often about that? One thing you should have done is I'm going to assume it's in the freezer.
Is it still
right
in
now,
your
right?
freezer?
Yeah,
so it's too late now.
Try to do a biopsy on it if you wanted, even just to see for yourself if there's like a big mass in there or something. You never know.
He didn't have a mass at all.
No,
like nothing. No lump. He was just slim and sleek.
The rat wasn't alive though, right? I'm guessing you just pre-killed it or something.
It was dead.
Okay, yeah. Then
it was frozen thawed.
But like it's one of the things, right? Like just like I moved here and I found my super zebra that I'd been raising up dead after 3.5 years, right? So again, it's always that age range. Like think about it. When do you lose a male? You always lose a male right between the ages of 2.5 and 4 years old. If they get past that stage, they live forever. So think of any animal you've ever lost.
I get it. But usually they have signs. They usually have a lump, and usually I'd be like, here we go. We got a lump, you know? but
Yeah,
nothing.
but there's other
Absolutely nothing.
cancers too that wouldn't necessarily cause a lump either, right? There could even be like a brain tumor or something, or maybe it's some like I'm not sure if you keep it on substrate or not, or just paper, but maybe it's somehow
Paper.
bit and lodged something in there somehow. Who knows?
So
But it's
I
probably
mean,
some freak
I'll
accident that wouldn't happen again, kind
I'll
of thing.
send you the picture. It looks really odd. And you know what? This is like, I know this sounds really weird. And I already told Dom like the theory is stupid because snakes don't usually strangle themselves or whatever. But I feel like it missed the rat, and it caught itself, and then kind of things went bad from there. So from the picture, it doesn't look good. It's got two teeth into its own skin. So
So
that's where I
I'll,
was like, I don't know.
so I'm going to
Like,
say
I
it to
don't
the
know. Like,
I'll answer what I told you, my thought on that. So if you've ever tried to euthanize a snake, and this is going to get dark, and I apologize, but if you've tried to euthanize a snake, it is really hard to kill a snake. And I'm saying euthanize for whatever reason. Okay. If you need to euthanize a snake, killing a snake, okay, I hate using the word killing, euthanizing a snake by using oxygen deprivation is next to impossible. You could have an animal in a sealed container in a plastic bag, and their metabolic rate is so slow that it could take for like over an hour to kill it. And the reason I can tell you that is that when I had, like, we've all had deformed babies, and one of the things we should discuss is when you breed, you will be calling animals, right? If your snake comes out with no jaw, you're not going to keep that thing alive. If your snake comes out all kinked, you're going to put that animal down. So before, one of the ways I would do it is I would build gas chambers, the same one that would euthanize a rat, like within, what do you think? How long does it take to euthanize a rat? Like 6 seconds. They gasp their mouth 2 or 3 times and then they're done. Right? It is done. I have tried to euthanize a snake with CO2, or never, ever, ever again will I do it. So in a gas chamber that you put CO2, even after 40 minutes, that animal is still going to have signs of life, and you can pull them out and it will be alive. So my reasoning behind saying that, and of course I found that out the really rough way, right? When you're trying to euthanize an animal, that's really not doing well. And that was an adult. I think that was like a male with a huge tumor that I wanted to euthanize. Um, anyway, my point is, if a snake tried to strangulate itself, I mean, wouldn't it eventually get too weak to strangulate, and
Well,
then it
the
would
thing
stop, and
is,
then it would
when
have
snakes, the way constrictors work is not by like getting rid of their airflow. It's by actually like literally almost like exploding their whole what system is it? Like it has nothing to do with the respiratory system. It has everything to do with the. It's not is it the lymphatic? No, it's like, but
lymphatic
it's like
system. That makes no sense.
they do it over like they're like stopping your blood flow. They're not stopping their their breathing kind of thing. They're
Okay.
going off like that's
So
how
are
it
you trying to
works. Kind
imply
of,
like they're
yeah.
they're constricting more like the heart and everything to reduce the beat?
Yeah, kind of thing. It's more on that whole pressure kind of going on. I when I was at the doing what is it? When I was at the zoo, they talked about that, and somebody else also. I think I've probably heard it on podcast at some point too. But yeah, no, it's like a little more than just the whole breathing thing that we're all taught when we first get into snakes. But yeah, no. So maybe it's that, and maybe it like I don't know. Some like you said, it had teeth in it, so maybe like, and I just saw the picture, so maybe it's nicked an artery somehow in itself, or maybe it just broke its own spine somehow, kind of thing, or something like that.
Is there any documented events of a snake kill himself with constriction? I'd be curious because I've
I
never
would.
heard of it.
That sounds like a Nick
so
question.
what about a milk snake when it eats itself? It almost kills itself that way, right?
Yeah,
Like, I
like
know
that's
it's
what they would do
different.
too.
I know it's
That's how
different,
that's
but
how constricting snakes kill each other, right? Is like they're going so
right.
tight that
So
they.
I'm thinking the same way. I kind of agree with Dom.
Okay,
Like
no,
I've tried the same thing Dom just said about trying to kill it with CO2. It doesn't work. Don't try that, anybody. Please don't. But I mean, at this point, we had, like, the snake was sick, so we had to do what we had to do, right? it's not a pretty sight. And I do agree, it takes forever. So yes, it takes a lot to do it. But just think, I don't know. I know this kind of sounds weird, but just think that it's constricting it like just think like a mouse that hasn't died and then it's biting it, and it's every time it feels it trying to move a little bit, or even the heartbeat is moving, it's just constricted more. So it's feeling its own body. I mean, some people say snakes are really smart, but I mean they can have their moments. Let's put it that way. And it's constricting itself because it can feel the the pulse or the blood flow or like it's tightening up. I don't know. I have no explanation.
You know
It's
what?
messed
On
up.
that, I
It's messed
think
up.
I'm going to side with Michael. He might be right. Then it might not be an issue with the breathing or he might actually be right. I like the way you're saying it. It could be possible. So now then, is that what happened? If so,
It's
snakes
fluke.
are dumb sometimes.
It's fluke.
Yeah.
It's
Either
totally
way, it's
fluke.
a freak accident kind of thing, right? So it'll probably
So
never happen again, but it's probably how like other. That's yeah. It just
I mean,
sucks.
if it could have happened to any other snake, I mean, there's a few other snakes I probably wouldn't have liked it to happen to, and I don't like to say that, like choose one snake over another, but like when you're not able to get it, that that snake, and I mean, I haven't been working on that project as hard as like Nick or anything, but I've got an interest in the project, and I want to see it go to fruition, right? And then now I got to wait till this male that's a 2025 to get up to size. And I'm not that type of guy that's going to rush the whole thing, but at the same time, I'm going on 53 years old. I ain't going to be doing this forever, right? So am I ever going to hit a black and white snake? I don't know. Never know.
Yeah, it definitely sucks, and hopefully we can hopefully she goes for you. That'd be that'd be nice, and then they're all holdbacks.
At the end of the day, what I really want to do now, I mean, it was somewhat of the plan, but is to get and the males are doing really well. So now, I guess with talking to Nick about the ivories when I did get the ivories, and to tell him like, hey, what do you keep? Obviously, I held them back, but I can tell one is like creamier or lighter yellow than the other one. I have one that looks like I could pretty much give it like the Favre line or a German line. It's that yellow, and then I have another zebra one that looks pretty much like its mom or the dad of the clutch, right? So pretty happy about that. But I'm once that snake hits that, I'll breed it back to mom and hopefully make super ivories. I mean,
So
they won't be pure. They'll be pure, but they won't be 100%. But
I was going to say the thing you forgot to say is the ivories that he got were 75%, right?
yes,
So
75%.
because
Sorry. Yeah.
because Nick Mutton only bred ivories into just jungles initially, it took a while. He bred jungles, bred for the color forever, and then brought in the zebra, and he sold them to or sold or traded whatever it is to Paul in UK Python. UK Python mixed them in with zebra. Added, I think it is UK that added the zebra, right? Or does it come from?
No, Nick said he added it in at one point.
Okay, so then it was Nick, but then then it was bred back to ivories and brought back to 75%. So there's 75% white, which really means that 25% of that snake comes from a yellow jungle. So you've got let's be honest, like you've got these whitish, what is it, like a slight cream colored animals, right?
There,
So the idea now is that you can definitely you'll never be able to officially get back to 100% because the line is created by Nick, but there's nothing that stops the 75% with 2-3 generations to go back to white and black. There'll be line bred 75% that look like 100, because unless you were able to get 100%, then you'd be back to 87.5, then you'd be at 90 whatever 5%, and then keep going up. But with 2 or 3 generations, you can get them back to white and go to white and black, but you need to have enough stock to keep going.
and so to understand, the 75% does mean the percentage of color, right? And not the outbred, right?
No,
It
it's not the
means
color.
it's
So
got to do with outbreeding.
no, so
Just like the Schofield, is it just like
no.
our inlands?
So
No?
forget about color. Just tell yourself Nick has been line breeding black and white jungles for multiple generations. I think he said like 8 to 10 generations, however many.
Sure.
So eventually he gets there, right? So he's got black and white jungles. So as soon as you breed it out to an unrelated, everything has 50% blood of an ivory and 50% blood of, call it, jungle from whatever line, right? So then all your babies are 50% ivories, 50% other bloodline of jungles. And now he added the zebra. Now he wanted to get more blood that is ivory, right? So by breeding the 50% ivory that are now zebra back to 100% ivory, so that means that now all the babies are going to be bringing in 25% from their initial 50% because they're getting the other half, and they're going to be bringing 50% from the new mother or the new father that is 100%, right? So you're getting 50% blood from the 100%, you're getting 25% blood from the initial pairing, the new babies, and you're getting a leftover of 25% blood of that other line of jungle. So those babies now have 75% original blood that is ivory. So the color could be yellow for all you know, and you could have babies that are white, right? It all depends on what genetic and which one are more being influenced. But the more of the ivory blood you bring back into it, the more that all the alleles that were lining up and all those that were lining up to create that phenotype that is like more of a polygenic trait will line up and will create that. So right now, it doesn't matter how often you breed your 75% together, they're always going to be 75% ivories because they have 25% blood from an unrelated
And
jungle.
theoretically, they're gonna, some will be 25%, some may even look 100%. Well, like it's gonna be just a range because it's a more of a polygenic or
Yeah,
polymorphic
100%.
kind of thing. So it's more of a fluid kind of genetic system, right? So it's just holding back the best looking ones and breeding
Exactly.
them back to each other and keeping it going like that. That's
So-
kind of all it is.
So they're always going to be 75%, but it doesn't mean a 75% can't look as good as 100%. And it doesn't make it unpure. They're still pure. It just means that now you have to put work into it to get back to there. It's like if you're back to like, you probably need 2 to 3 pairings of picking the nicest, whitest one, breeding them back together, and they'll look like the original 100%.
So when can I go up levels and percentage? Never.
Never.
Even by breeding back to mom and everything, you're just
Never.
Yeah, theoretically, it still has 25% in there, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it's one of those like weird things that doesn't really work because theoretically they're all on a sliding scale, anyways.
Take it to humans. Let's say you breed a black person with a white person. All the babies are 50% mulatto. I don't know. Is that racist scale? I'll go Chinese. My kids are Chinese. Okay, my kids are 25% Chinese. Okay, so I don't know what's wrong with that. But it doesn't matter.
Saying I'm not saying
if a 25% or a 50% of whichever race is being bred back to always another 25%, even if you were to pick the whitest babies or pick the most Chinese babies, you could slowly move into having more Chinese looking babies or more white looking babies, but they're still always going to be 25% unless you add more original blood. Do you get what I mean? So you can choose to change the look, but you're always going to have 75% unless you manage to import one female or male 100%. As soon as you can bring in one, it changes the entire ball game because now you can keep breeding back and increasing.
Make some 80 something percent ones then that are even higher percentage kind of thing.
So I need to go down and buy one and then meet you on the Saint Laurent and use your boat and bring it over.
We can do that. We can make that happen.
You just need to See if Casey can
oh, yeah.
send some back from
We'll have
Don
a
since he's
we'll
able
have
to
a
get some from
decoy.
Don.
We use the wives of decoys or something.
But Michael does have a point, right? Casey and Don Patterson do. They're one of the only ones that are still able to do it. So if you reach out to Casey and you ask him, I know Don won't do it, but if you reach out to Casey, Casey might do it.
So Don won't do it.
Don's a nice guy.
Don would probably be the one receiving them. Maybe
he'd be receiving them. I mean, you could try. I talk to Don a lot, but it doesn't mean he's going to bring. He's never brought in anything from the States for me. So, but I mean, if you look at my initial inland, when it was impossible to get inlands in Canada, my initial inland comes from Nick, and it came from Nick through Casey to Don to some rando guy to me. And that's how I got my initial inland. And then I finally managed to, and it took me forever to get more. And, for the longest time,
Casey Keith?
Casey Cannon, right? No.
Yeah, it'd be Casey, but honestly, yeah, you probably got it from Lazic because Lazic's just down in Seattle. So
really, eh?
Casey Lazic's still doing stuff.
Okay.
He keeps some cool stuff.
Finished.
He's never doing a podcast
though. It would be cool to have him on. So,
absolutely.
Shan, basically, you can get there. You can get to the prettiest white, and in the end, you just want a white and black zebra, right? That's your goal, or white and black super zebra. So you want white and black jungles, which there's nothing stopping you from getting there with a 75%. You just have to do a bit of work. And I mean, look at our jungles. Like, how far have we gotten in our jungles? Like, we have, I am on my fourth. I could technically, if my super zebras would have produced this year, that would have been my personal fourth generation. But they didn't produce. But how cool would it have been? Like, the idea of having a fourth generation, right? Like, it's like I have the great grandmother if they would have produced. She didn't, so I'm still at third generation, which is still a big accomplishment. So 3 generations, you could have. I guarantee you, in 2 generations, you can get black and white.
I have the grandfather here, so isn't he? Isn't he the grandfather, the male?
Yeah, that is the original male, which is not the prettiest male. That's why I don't use him. I haven't used him in like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. He's still producing. That male has produced more babies than just about any other male.
Yeah, he still does well. So yeah. No.
So any other update, guys, to chat? If
not, I think it was as soon as the person came to the door and I was about to. Was it so? At last weekend on Sunday, I messaged Rob Stone, kind of saying because I was like, well, I think my Bahama female is taken or something, right? Like I thought she was kind of looking good, but then he said, well, is she in shed? Because I fed them last weekend and they all ate, so that was like apparently not a great sign. So then I threw the male back in with her on like Sunday night, and then they locked up for like a whole day straight. And then now she's in shed. So I'm supposed to expect a shed from the female before the male, at least with Caribbean boas in general, because he keeps the Jamaicans and the Puerto Ricans. So just going off of the general Kyla Bathurst kind of way of how they breed, that may be a good sign. So now they locked up like one more time. Now she's in shed before the male, which is how it's supposed to happen, I guess. So I guess we'll see. Actually, I'm not sure if I saw an ovulation the other day or what or not. It's hard to tell because she like goes from looking thick to not looking thick, like kind of over like randomly. Like not, maybe it's probably not random, but it's just like sometimes she looks thicker than she is, and it looks thicker than the food item that's in there, right? Or whatever it is. So it's kind of tough to gauge since I haven't bred them yet. But yeah, no, it may or may not be a good sign. So we'll see. I'll know in about 5 or 6 months. And then that'll be a really cool show that we'll have to.
That's exciting.
Probably need to get Jeff Murray on.
I was going to say, when you get to that point, we should do a show just on them. Find the 1 or 2 really good people. Maybe even do a roundtable on them.
There's one guy. Actually, there's 2, but Steve would be fantastic to have on. Steve Woodward. He's a really he's a cool guy. I chatted with him on the phone once, and yeah, no, he would be fantastic on a podcast. He would talk. He's like Bill. He's like when we had Bill Hughes on, and he goes off on a tangent and has so much knowledge because he's been in reptiles for 40 or 50 years, right? But yeah, no, Jeff Murray would be fantastic though. He did one of the last boas episodes last year that Rob and Keith and them did. He did a good show with them. But yeah, no, he'd be cool to have on. Oh, actually, and yeah, pivoting to, since we don't really have, I don't think we have too much more to talk. Well, you guys might, but Rob and Julander just did a show with Dustin Smith from the North Carolina Zoo. I believe that's who he works for. But he does a bunch of conservation in the West Indies, and also is one of the lead guys on the Virgin Island boas project, which is another Chilobothris species that's really endangered and is another CITES 1 animal, I believe. But yeah, no, they're working on captive breeding them and reintroductions and keeping track of the populations, because there's populations on Puerto Rico. There's one tiny population on Puerto Rico still, so Puerto Rico technically has 2 species on the island. And then there's a bunch of other islands, obviously, including the British Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and all those, a few other islands there. But yeah, no, they're cool. That was a great episode they had him on, because he also does the Puerto Rican crested toad, another super endangered animal that's protected in the U.S. You know, if you guys, anybody who's listening, go check that episode out if you haven't already. It's a really good listen. Any other? Have you guys had any podcasts stick out in your heads recently? I know I've had a couple others, but
So I have
let
one
you
that
guys
I
talk
definitely
first.
want to chat about that I listened to about today. But Shan, you got something before?
Just keeping an eye on the warma. I think I'm really working hard on that thing. Good signs. I'm keeping an eye out. It's still eating, but I don't know. I think I might have good luck there. The scrubs, what a difference. Um, so if anybody remembers, I got these snakes. I mean, and nothing, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody, but just not well kept. They were kept in pretty much a shoebox tote when I got them, and they were like 4 feet and a bit, right? So not great. But now I got them in I had them in a 4x2 for a little bit, and then I upgraded them to a new enclosure. I do cohab, but they love their. So this is a 6x2x2.
What type of
Much
scrubs
bigger.
are they, Shan?
So Meraki, patternless Meraki. Does that make sense? Meraki or South?
Maruki, so they're southerns, I'm guessing.
Maruki, yeah, Southerns. Yes.
I think they're patternless xanthics, right?
Yes. Patternless xanthic. Yes, that's what they are. They really look like kind of greenish, but anyway, Stephen Cush says they are what they are. But so really like this new enclosure. I've seen a lot of great behaviors. So I put a lot of hanging branches, which I think was very key on that, and right underneath radiant heat panel. I know some people might say that's not a good thing and whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, like
it
a
works.
Ryan.
That's what I do with the
Ryan
Bahamas.
Young probably wouldn't like that, but I've listened to a few podcasts lately with that. But so trying it out. It's only a 40 watt. I put it on a low.
Oh, yeah.
But I also added a tote that just like the totes you see all the time with people, the breeding tote with a special pipe like that you find for plumbers.
Yeah.
To basically connect our cages. I use them for that. So I decided to put that on the top so I can actually close them in there if I needed to clean the enclosure or separate one of the two. Well, as soon as I put that in there with some sphagnous moss, they're in there like constantly back and forth, like a lot of activity. And I actually saw a lock for the first time 2 weeks ago. Super happy. Came in. I had to work really early, so it was like usually I go in. So like I said, I'm up at 3:30. So by the time I come in the reptile room, it's like close to 4. This time it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just took my phone and I put on the flashlight on it, and just like chondros, I saw the tail hanging down with them being locked. It was quite an amazing sight to see. So I really think like the male spends a lot of time in the box. He'll come out at nighttime, and they'll both
Have
head.
you hit them with food? Have you hit the female with some
I hit
consecutive
her with
meals?
I hit her with food. He won't eat. I don't know what
That's
it
a good
is.
sign.
He won't eat. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
happy with
That's
that,
good.
right? She's taking down like I don't know, like a lot of people know scrubs, but I've learned a lot since I listened to Stephen Cush. They can take pretty big meals, so I've been trying to give her big meals. I'm so like my like a somewhat big carpet python will have a hard time taking a full size rat that's like 500 grams, and these things make it like it's nothing. It's like a lunchable, and their heads are like half the like they're triangular, but they're just like long, slinky snakes that are like really thin, right? You would never think that it can easily take that, right? And yeah, no problems. Easily takes a full size rat down. So been hitting her with food. She looks pretty plump. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I don't know. I'm not expecting anything, but it's looking good. I don't know. Has anybody bred those in Canada? Does
I'm
anybody
not
know?
sure. There's a guy that bred Barnex. Well, I'm sure sometime in the last 40 years somebody's bred them, right? Kind of one of those things where somebody's bred them 25 years ago and they all knew about it back then, and then since those guys aren't really around anymore,
What about
you don't
that
really
guy
hear it.
from Quebec there?
Yeah, there's some
Yeah, I think he
Quebecer
bred
that
Barnex. I don't know if he bred
that's the guy you're
Southerns.
talking
Maybe.
about, right, Mike?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
I forget
he's
his
got a
name.
profile. Yeah, he's got an Iron Maiden profile, right?
I'm not
Maybe.
sure.
I don't know. I don't remember what his name was.
Either
I'd have
way,
to
it's
look it up.
super cool, but there's no captive bred for sale. I haven't seen a captive
there's
bred
definitely none for
scrub,
sale.
anything for sale. Like
Right.
you haven't seen a captive bred scrub for sale in Canada, and I don't think I've ever seen one ever. So it's not a very common thing. I mean, in the States, they're having more and more success, but when's the last time that happened here?
Yeah.
The clutch you're talking about from that Quebecer that had one, I don't know if I know of any, but there could be, right? It's extremely rare. So if you get those, I think it'd be really, really cool. I hope so for you, especially considering that half of them are mine. So I'd love for you to hit them because I mean, I'm gonna kind of ride your coattails of success, even though I'm literally doing nothing.
That's not what you said when I hand back the granite this year.
Okay,
I'm
the
joking.
granite is
I'm
a
joking.
different story.
Yeah. It's all good. But yeah, no, I would be pretty happy with that. I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna happen. We just gotta give it some time. I just gotta do the right things. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get the UK shipment coming in. I'm supposed to get some nice stuff coming in there, so I'm pretty excited about that. So
Nice. That'll
some
be cool.
children's python. So that'll be my next
There you go.
goal.
What are the morphs of the children's?
So T positive albino and ghost. So pretty happy.
What's the ghost? I
In
gotta ask
between a
'cause
normal and a T positive.
no, because a ghost is a different thing depending on which type of python you're talking about. So I gotta
Well, I
ask, what's a
think
ghost?
I don't think it's a cross. I think it's like just like its own morph. I don't think it's like a
I'll
two-gene
inquire
animal.
about it, but I thought it was when I heard ghost, I thought it was caramel xanthic, but I don't know if that's
No,
See,
no,
you're
I don't
assuming
believe
it from
so.
the carpet python world. So
Yeah.
my guess, ghost could be a T positive albino with some kind of a hypo. It could literally be anything, or it could be
I
a
think
hypo.
I think it's actually more of a it doesn't look like a hypo though. I've seen pictures.
Yeah,
of
no,
them.
it doesn't.
They look
I've seen
in between a normal and and a T-pause. I would just consider it like a separate recessive gene kind of thing.
So
They just slap
that's
the ghost name on it. Yeah.
So we need to figure out what it is. That's why that's kind of another
We have to
pet peeve of mine in the reptile world, man. Why is a ghost something in this species? It's something else in that species. It's something completely
Well, it's the
different
same
in
in
that
most,
species.
right?
No, it's
Like
not.
boa constrictors, carpets. Well, carpets
It's-
used to be kind of wrong, but caramels are kind of a hypo, right? So it's kind of in there. But like boas, like you call a anery hypo a ghost, right? Like it's the same across the board pretty much, except for whatever the children antaresia people want to call it. Oh, yeah. No, it's we'll have to maybe the next time we maybe when we get Dr. J on, he might know, or maybe we need to get some other guys on at some point. We need to get
So
a
you're
Wooter
saying
on
that
to talk about
usually a
those lavender
ghost.
prothensis.
So that would be cool. So just to get back, usually a ghost in most species is an exanthic, so lacking the yellow pigment, with I'm going to go with anery or no, anery would be exanthic.
Well,
too.
anery or
Hypo.
exanthic with hypo. Yeah.
Exactly. So anything anery or exanthic, which is the same thing, lacking yellow pigment, which makes no sense why we're using two different terms across the board also. And then hypo, which would be decrease black melanin, right? So that's what you would normally call. But the problem is with carpets, we've got two types of decreased melanin. You've got the caramel and you've got the hypo, which are two different forms of proven incomplete dominant, which makes it even more complicated. So we've got now a ghost and a true ghost, which makes it even more complicated. That's why when like you're talking about your children, I got to ask, like, what the heck is a ghost? Because I honestly don't know. And you're saying recessive, but exanthic and anery tends to be recessive in almost every single species, even though everybody classifies it as an incomplete dominant. So anyway, the whole thing is freaking complicated because I find it really hard. I wish people would just break shit down. You know, don't add a new word to differentiate shit, especially if it's the same everywhere else, but it means different things. I don't know. Anyway, rant over.
Yeah. No, it's kind of funny when people do that. Sure, Rob will mention that again. You guys are talking about exantics again. Oh God.
Which one, Rob?
Yeah, Bobby Pebbles.
What's his pet peeve? Is that
Exanthic
Well, no. It's not his pet peeve. He was just joking with us when he came on with us that you were, or maybe it was on Reptile Fight Club that we were going on going a little far down the exantic and anery route when it's just the same. Well, it's kind of similar. It doesn't really matter, but it's all funny.
Oh, yeah. There's only so many pigments. So what the podcast that I listened to today, which really grabbed my attention, was the Animals at Home podcast. They did a show on condor pythons. Okay?
Oh, did you listen to MJ's yet?
Which one?
The one where he basically went off on that one, basically.
Oh no, I didn't listen to the rebuttal.
Because isn't that one they basically said Patrick Holmes knows nothing about chondros because he hasn't been to Indonesia.
So
they kind of went off on it because they were like, basically everybody on there wasn't really qualified to talk about it. Although the chicken guy they said sounded good. I haven't even listened to it because it sounded like it was so bad.
I think you should go listen to it because it is a very different perspective on condor pythons. It didn't really even go into really what it is to breed chondros, what it is to be a chondro, and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
it just went on.
That's just why they were upset with the clickbait part of it when the guy that was supposed to know about chondros was a kind of an idiot and doesn't know anything about keeping or breeding.
So
and
what's this called again? Sorry, just what's it called again? I just want to know.
Okay, so Animals at Home is the podcast.
Animals at Home. Okay.
And so it's Animals at Home podcast with Dylan Perron, the episode 253, Condor Python or Con in like quotations, Dro Python live roundtable. So I didn't listen to MJ's and I'm really curious to hear the rebuttal because I'm still like, to me, this was a very controversial, questionable show, but it has very interesting points. Okay. So, and a lot of it goes into what is a line and how people call shit a line, especially in chondropython, how things aren't lines in every single other breedings of other animals, but they are in chondros. I don't know. I found it really interesting, but you did listen to it, Michael?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I kind of got the summary from MJ's podcast.
So I
Yeah.
think people should listen to it. It is
Yeah.
weird because they talk
It
a
was
lot
just
about.
because the guy that was supposed to be know about chondros didn't even know how their genetics work, and it sounded like the chicken guy was telling him, like, yeah, that sounds like this, which is what we all know it is. Like, it's all kind of like, it's other than the one albino, it's all kind of polygenetic or whatever they call it, right? So, and the guy that supposedly has experience with them didn't even know that kind of thing.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
They should have.
Like a
They
lot of
should have.
things.
Like some of those guys, they definitely like the chicken guy. They said when they were like, "We need to get that guy on the show," but they should have had actual chondro people on it, and then it would have been a fantastic show, probably, right?
I think if they would have put like Patrick Holmes as the Condor guy with these two, it would have been an insanely good show. Except Patrick would have talked the entire time. We would have heard the other one. So I love Patrick, but he doesn't let the other guests talk because he's got too much to say. But that guy's knowledgeable as shit. Like he's incredible. So I just thought it was really interesting because I kind of forgot about Condor Python. I just listened to them talk about breeding and how to selectively breed. What is like what is a trait, what is a line, what is a bloodline, and what is the other things they talk about, another type, a strain. So something that we don't use, like they were talking about strains and different things, and a lot about how breeding should include culling, but we don't do culling, and it's not a normal thing to do for us. But anyway, I just thought it was a interesting show to listen to. I thought it was quite controversial, but I thought there was a lot of good nuggets in there. I think there was a lot of not the greatest things when it came to Condor Python, but if you're just listening to it to just listen to something else, like basically saying like I'll give you an example. They would talk about how like people are going to say like, yeah, this is a blue line Condor Python, right? And calling it a blue line Condor because 3 generations down you had a blue line snake that was bred in there, it doesn't make it a blue line. Like 95% of its bloodline is everything else, but we're calling it a blue line. They took a lot of shots at Condor Python. It was pretty rough at times, but I think some of them hit, man. That's all I'm going to say. And again, I am a big Condor fan. I love the idea. I want to get some, but I do not care about designers. I think they're really pretty to look at. I love them, but I'm never going to pay $8,000 for a designer hybrid snake that I have no idea if it's going to turn green or turn speckled incredible, right? And they took a lot of shot at
well, they did take shots at Patrick himself.
At Patrick, but they also took a lot of shots at the sickness. So about how basically everything that has sickness bloodline is worth a fortune, even though it died at 4 years old. And like they said so many. Again,
I think it lived longer than 4 though.
I think it only bred once.
Did it breed? I thought it bred a couple times, maybe.
I'm pretty sure it was only.
But it's all its like its siblings and offspring are now bred. So,
again,
I don't know.
Sorry, I just read Creature Crossings. I apologize to Creature Crossing. Dom and Shan are here, but the hair has left. It's been cut off. Anyway, just getting back to it. I think you guys should listen to it purely because there's some interesting information in there. I agree. The guy for the Condors wasn't the same, but it was interesting to hear how to breed animals from like a dog point of view and a chicken point of view. It's so weird to say like that, but when they were talking about it, and like some of them had pretty freaking good, knowledgeable information on there. Anyway, it was just my thought. If you have nothing better to do, it is a weird podcast. It was cool. But now I really want to listen to MJ's rebuttal.
Is there any other good ones that they have? Like, do you listen?
Dylan's produced some really good ones over the years, right? And that's the same network that Phil Leitz and Roy Arthur Blodgett did the no, not well. Responsible. No. Why is it leaving my mind? There are podcasts that lasted over 100 episodes. That every show was fantastic.
I'm
I
trying to
know it,
think.
and why am I forgetting it? Come on, Phil. We
I
only
was
did 2
just
shows this year.
I was just asking because the only podcast I know is usually I find them through Dom. Dom's like, "Have you listened to this one?" I'm like, "I've never heard of this." He'd be like, "Oh, listen to this," and then I look it up and then I find it.
Yeah.
So that's how I've been doing it. Yeah, I have some of the ones that you guys listen to all the time, like the uh, the expert and the idiot. MJ's podcasts are awesome. You guys, I listen to you guys religiously, and a few
Project
others.
Herpa the Vulture.
Yes. Yeah. That's what it
Okay.
was.
Yeah.
Because that you can listen to any of those shows. Like there's a few round tables where I was like, I don't know, and then they were turned out to be good. But they're just all good because they brought on Ron a bunch of times and they were all good. And they had Alan Rapace and they had Philippe Devogely, right, who wrote all those books in the early 2000s and brought Crested Geckos over here. I don't know. They did fantastic with it because they're also like have that progressive mindset as well as the really deep into it kind of mindset, kind of similar to like it was just good. That show was good. That was prime Animals at Home was Project Hurt.
If so, Animals at Home, I think he does good shows. I'll be honest, I listened to maybe 1 out of 10 shows because he does just
they're
about
kinda,
everything, right? So a lot of the things just doesn't interest me. But whenever there's a subject that I'm like, oh, this is cool, I'll listen to it. This one had Condor Python on it, so I wanted to see what it was, and then it hooked me pretty much right away. So I listened to it. But now again, there was a lot of like I'm surprised. I found it quite controversial, and I'm surprised how much of a dig they went at. Well, I would say at Bill and towards Pat, which are two like they're pretty big names. Like I'm just a little surprised that they would just
yeah.
they did that,
I could see
especially
people
Dylan.
not. Yeah. That's
Just
why I find it weird why Dylan would do that. Maybe he thought the guy was kind of more into it than he did, kind of thing. So, but
But
like I
they
don't know,
don't do
Dylan. Like obviously
controversial
Dylan's
shows.
done some really good shows in the past. Like Dylan's first show with Philip Leitz on Euros is like his most popular show ever, right? On that Euromastic show, I think is like his highest viewed one. So he's done some fantastic shows.
I think he did didn't he do the documentary style podcast on like the equivalent of Tiger King for the reptile thing?
Yeah.
That show was insanely well done. I don't even remember like I don't even know what the name of that reptile Tiger King like show was. You help me out? Or?
Actually, Dave Levinson at the end of it talked about how after when we had him on, mentioned that was coming. It's coming out in August on HBO.
Okay. Well, anyway, he did a show on what it is like on the documentary and the whole story behind it. Holy crap! Like it honestly sounded so professional. It's a great show. So I think like again, I'm not bringing down that the Animals at Home podcast. I think they have it's a really cool podcast overall. Great shows. Just this one surprised me a little bit, but again, I think it's worth a listen. It's just not his style to target people, and I feel like there was targets. Again, it wasn't him that said it, but there was some targeting.
I doubt
which
he
surprised me.
kind of thought it was going to go that way, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know. I'm not one like just like here. We don't usually target. Well, I think we've targeted one person the entire show. Only because,
that was kind of earned though.
Well, when you steal $4,400 from me and Shan, we will name your show, and we are choosing not to bring up her name anymore because I'm trying to let it go, and I'm hoping that she repays her debts at some point, which she has with 1 or 2 people, and she's trying hard to get out of there. But in the end, it's been a year and a half, and we're still owed over $2,000. So she has repaid us a little bit, and I'm again abstaining from saying her name because I'm trying not to be too negative.
And no green trees.
Oh yeah, we still don't have green trees.
Just saying.
Yeah,
I'm kind of pissed
bitter,
off.
Shan. Don't be bitter.
I'm a little bitter. Sorry.
Come on, you're gonna get more gray hair, man. You're gonna have nothing left on that scalp.
I'll be dead before I have fucking green trees at this point. Like fuck. Like anyway, whatever.
Anyhow,
Any
so
other
that was
podcasts
what I
that
wanted. Sorry,
stuck
go for
out
it.
with you too? Any others?
You, Shan?
What's this? Say that again.
Any
I didn't hear.
podcast that you enjoyed, even in the last few months, kind of thing? Anything that stuck out to you that you really enjoyed and
So
listened to?
I finished listening to you guys with Dave Levinson this week. I listened to NPR the last few. I've been trying to catch up. Actually, that's what I've been doing. I was like the MJ one is what I heard on NPR. So yeah,
that was a good one.
I enjoy them all. Yeah, they're good. They're good.
I enjoyed his story. I don't think I had ever heard
Yeah.
MJ's story. It was a good one. I listened to that one too.
Yeah.
No, go for
ahead.
it, Shan. No, go.
It was kind of nice to hear him say, everybody's just normal person, right? And him getting to meet all these, not celebrities, but people that are well known in the snake industry, right? And he was like, I'll never be able to speak to that person. All of a sudden, however many years later, he's, having them on his show, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah. No, I felt it was good. MJ's talked about his story a bit over the years, kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was good to get the NPR version of it, And Eric and Owen are great guys, so it was that classic NPR episode,
And then I listened to Coffee.
Carpets and Coffee.
That's it, Carpets and Coffee. Sorry, guys. Anyway, the one where I mentioned in it, but they can't say my name properly. Sorry, guys, but my name's not Shay. This is a new one. I've never heard of somebody calling me Shay. So thanks, guys. You've introduced me to my 15 names. Now I can add 16 to the list. I've been called Chan, Shan, Shannon, Sean, Shane. You name it. I'm like, Chan, really? I don't know. Anyway, it's all good.
It's kind of cool though when you start hearing your name for other things. Like
it was.
Like,
it felt good.
It feels like, oh my God, like somebody said my name on a random podcast, and it feels great, right? You're like, oh my God,
it did. It did.
So it's kind of cool.
And it also feels weird. You're like,
I'm joking.
I'm not anything. I don't need to have my name mentioned.
Like we're just nobodies who's literally just regurgitating shit for fun. Like for us, like let's be honest, all three of us are just on here shooting the shit, just having like a conversation like we'd be having every single day, right? It just happens that 3 people are actually listening at the same time. So but the last one, I'm assuming there's 3 people. I can't see the number.
We have like 10 right now, actually. It's kind
10?
of weird.
Wow. So I see Richard, which is a great guy in Canada too. Hey Richard. He just brought up the expert and the idiot, and the last one I heard from him, which again, he's freaking great, man. Like he does great podcasting. He brought on Riley, and I thought the Riley show was Riley Jameson was a great show. I really enjoyed it. And talking about weird when you hear your name, Riley's like talking about how he's super happy about how he finally popped out some ocelots and all that. And I've been talking to Riley for the past couple of weeks because he's sent me a lot of the pictures regarding that too, because we've been dealing with the ocelots for freaking many years back. Like ours popped out 8 or 9 years ago, and we've been working that project forever. And he said my name about the ocelots, and I always feel bad because I'm like, well, Shan's got all the ocelots. Shan's got all the same shit I do too, but for some reason my name pops up and not him. So I want to give a shout out to Shay Mellinson for his ocelots as well. He's part of that too. So Shay, good job, buddy. Sorry, Shan.
Yeah, no problems. No, but I mean, you can even take it down. I'll take the credit for breeding them, but like the original animals are from Paul. So, I mean, I just put them together and then I got this incredible stripe. I mean, it's not like I spent years and years on it. I mean, I'm downplaying it, but I mean, yeah, are amazing.
The ivories right now, though.
No, I'm talking about the gelatins because that's what That's what he had mentioned me on, right? Was the
I was
gelatin?
talking about the ocelot with Riley. I'm like, those don't come from that, but keep going. I'm still listening.
No. So where I got called Shay was on carpets and coffee. So yeah, about the he said who's got the nicest gelatins was Shay. So it was me, right? So anyway,
So I would
yeah,
agree. If anybody's, you should post some of the pictures again. So Shan has produced some of the most stunning,
I'll send you
insanely
some.
like colors of Jaltons that I've ever seen, and I'm saying that knowing that I have some of his productions, and Mike's got some of his too, and yours, Mike, have very similar colors. Like if you were to put them in a light box and actually take pictures, the reason I
Oh
moved
yeah.
mine to Mike was not because they were ugly, was purely because I want 100% striped Jaltons, and Shan finally pushed some of the fully striped ones to my house. So Mike got the slightly older pair from me, but I'm okay with letting go of an older pair just to have more of the look that I was going for. But the earth tones, the greens, the browns, the beige in there are just, they're insane. Like they're gorgeous. They're truly
Everybody,
one of the nicer looking. I just wish that I think we should drop the gelatin jungles altogether. It should be just gelatin carpets because they're not jungles. They're
they're
variegata,
not
which makes them
jungles.
Darwins.
I
So they're
think Michael, you
gelatin
said it.
carpets.
I think you said it in another podcast. You call them Jalton Jungles, and I was like, eh. I was like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Well, that's just because like we've heard Eric say it for how long?
I get
So
it.
It's one of those, right? Like why do you like use stuff interchangeably? It's like, yeah, they're gelatin carpets, right? So they're they're just cool. They're just cool for how they are anyways, right? Like as long as we
yeah.
like who knows if they're actually gelatins or not, but we can
Well,
call
they're
them
gelatin locality Darwin
yeah.
carpets or variegata carpet pythons, right?
Yeah.
That would be the way to name them.
There you go. Those are those pictures. That's just the one, and
Hasn't
that
popped
one.
up yet,
Well, I
but
sent it.
keep going.
I sent
Oh,
it
you
to
sent
Mike.
it to Mike.
Sorry,
Mike,
I didn't
get on
send
it.
it to both.
Chop chop.
That's just the one snake. I have two that look exactly the same, about the same age. I think that one's the smaller one of the two. They still got a while to go though. I still got at least another year.
And those you
Um,
got from Paul at UK Pythons.
yes. I do have a male. He'll be ready to go. I think this year, and I'll probably put him to mom and see what happens. See if I can get a better stripe.
And
He's
by a
about
male, you mean one of your offsprings?
yes, yeah. So I'm pretty happy about that. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. Like
I don't remember
gelatins
what
are
I
kinda
don't
always
remember
cool.
what yours look like, so I don't remember what I sent to Dom. I know he has some nice stripe ones that probably look similar to the ones I have, if not almost perfect. I don't know what he sent you though, like how
They're I think
striped
one of
they
them was
are.
like a 30% stripe and the other is like a little more striped. I don't know. They look cool. I'm happy with them. I
Yeah,
don't I what I actually wouldn't mind too is like a gelatin that doesn't have any stripe at all. It's like
I
sometimes like
I
like the
do
classic
have that.
jungles that are just black with yellow.
I
They look
do
so
have
cool.
that actually. I just that's what's left, and I can't believe they're still here. Like it's crazy, man, that nobody wants these. But here's some with like barely any striping. Like, yeah, they look freaking phenomenal. Like, I'll send a few of them. There's one that I have two females, so I only have females left, guys. So, two 2025s. Is it 220? Yeah, two 2025s and one 2024 female. That's all I
It's
got left.
insane, man. Like that color on the sides is just gorgeous. With the I love the color on the sides because the dorsal striping really breaks down all the side patterns, which really brings out that I don't even know what color that is, like that yellowish beige. It's just gorgeous.
So I sent this one to all of us there, including Eric. So sorry, Eric, if I hope hopefully I'm not waking you up. I'm sure, but that's the normal looking one. So normal ish.
So
Still
Mike,
stripy.
right? But they're
They
still
look
very
so good.
gray, still very gray, right? They got that
Oh,
really
yeah.
bright gray. So I've noticed
That-
that you either have the really stripe, really gray with no stripe, or you have that dull looking one, which is like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they're
I think
like
you're
at first I was like, is that a inland? And it's like, oh no, I see the
Right?
green.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That one there is like meh. It's like meh. I'd pass on it.
But it'll grow into the color a little more too with age, so
Yeah.
it'll just take a little bit longer. Yeah, no, these look fantastic though.
Right. Like I can't wait to breed that
Wait till
to
you get a lime
to
green
that
carpet
male.
python. They're like tigers, but with green instead of like red
Oh yeah.
or
They're
tan
they're
or whatever.
they are the new thing that I love. Like I love these guys. I got an army of them now, and yeah, I'm good.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We'll have to
So I
have Eric
think
back on just to talk about gelatins.
So
Gelatin
I think
show.
Shan, you'll never produce normal looking gelatins because your everything is basically striped. I think you're going to have a hard time to produce non-striped gelatins because it seems to be so strong in your stock that
Yeah.
you might as well just accept that everything's going to be partially or perfectly striped.
It's definitely partially striped. There you can tell. Like the last ones that I sent Michael and yourselves, you can tell they're not as nice as that one, right? Like that one is like creme of the creme, you know. And the other one is just like average, you know. I'm not trying to put the other ones down, but they look like all the other ones out on the market, I guess. I'm not trying to be down, but I mean, you have that person that's got that nice coastal or that hypo or that thing, and for some reason I lucked out and I got nice gelatins. I mean, right? I mean, I see you have ocelot, zebra ocelots, and you pretty much you know the main one that has that kind of thing, Dom, and you know you kind of that's kind of your thing, you know. Same thing with some of the coastal stuff. Well, in Canada anyway.
You're saying that, and you produced way more than me this year.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So, Mike, there's a question for you out there, and I'm curious to see. So, Richard Broadhead's asking, so what do you think of carpets? Because you finally got some now for a little while.
Oh yeah, they're fun. They're pretty straightforward. I haven't been bit yet, so there's that.
I'll give it time.
They're not too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna once I pass quarantine, I'm gonna put them in some 3 or 4 foot cages, and they should do. They'll be cool. They'll be ready for them because they're taking medium rats right now. Well, they're not big mediums, right? They're like probably on the smaller side of mediums, so they're not too bad. And I'm just spacing it out more, but they're yeah, they're doing good. They're cool.
Those are the 2024s.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were a decent size.
They were.
Well, I thought you said you were feeding the mediums.
So
I was feeding them big, man. They were growing like weeds.
I've never had one out of 2 clutches, so about almost 30 snakes out of the gelatins not eat first shot, every one of them. Like they are great for eating. I will admit that. Very nervous and love to strike at everything. So as long as you make them like very comfortable and give them a hide and like even leave the meal, they'll eat it. Like I've never had a refuse ever. That's one of the ones that never refuses. I love it. Easy snake.
No,
easy snake.
They're cool. I'm loving them. I can't wait to get them in some cages with some branches and stuff.
So Mike, how long do you... Oh, sorry, go Shan.
I saw the rings. I really like them too. So
yes, I got the
like
rings
as
from.
Much. No.
I think they're cool. They're like, you know how everybody's got like the species you really want to put into your room.
Yeah.
Rings were like number 7 or 8 in my desirables. They were there. I think I'm going to be happy with just one pair, but I don't think I'd go more than that. What picture were you showing there? That looked like an exanthic coastal or an inland, or what the heck was that?
See, I thought as soon as I like glanced at it when he sent it to me, I thought it was inland, but that's the gelatins he was talking about with the duller ones. But you can see the green on the sides.
That's a gelatin?
Yes, that's a gelatin, guys. That's the
Yeah,
ones that
I
don't
can see it.
have that color, right? I mean, it
Hmm.
looks like
I got,
everything else on the internet, right? Like that's what
yeah,
you get. You don't get the stripe. You get this,
and I'm
which
sure
is
It
they'll
nice.
almost
I
throw
think
it
I
one
looks like
in
an
love
for
this.
exantic
competitive.
coastal.
I really love this. I have something for the gray, black, and white snake. It's just I don't know. It's a thing.
I'm gonna have to
And
give
then
you some Bahama boas once I get those too.
something. I don't know.
You'll
I
those Bahamas. I think you'll dig them because they're like a granity like silver boa,
oh
so
yeah.
they're pretty. They'll look cool, although they'll take forever to get up to breeding size, but that's okay.
Great.
They'll be little toothpicks when they're born.
Are they hard to feed? Or what do they eat?
Uh, it sounds like I can, I should be able to just to scent the pinkies with a knoll juice. So like if I could
Ugh.
get some of that a knoll juice that you can buy from the U.S. that works apparently well with boiled pinks, like really tiny boiled pinks, or I probably just freeze some anoles for a while and then
So,
make make the homemade anole juice.
uh, yeah. Is that the
Yeah.
same thing as what Vanessa Crutchfield breeds? They're like
They did breed some other West Indians, but like
really
actually, well, the one line is from Tom. The
okay.
silver or the Nassau line was from an animal that he was given by some fisherman that brought it back. May or may not be legal. I don't know, but that's the one of the vague stories on it. Like who knows where that animal actually came from, kind of thing. It could just be the story to make it sound cooler. But one female loaded with babies was kind of the because they have like 20 to 30 babies when they're if it's all done right kind of thing because they're like a Brazilian rainbow sized animal, so they're good 6 feet kind of thing, that 5 to 6 foot range for most of them. And yeah, they'll have a lot of tiny babies when Jeff Murray bred them. So yeah, the silver line that I'm breeding is actually supposed to originate from Tom. Yeah, no, they're
And
cool.
these are animals you can just sell to anyone, right? Or is there any restrictions on them?
There shouldn't be any. Cubans are the only one that are sometimes restricted depending on the province. Like BC, Cuban boas are illegal, but I can keep them here in Alberta.
You think you'll have any
But
issues selling
Cubans
them?
can get kind of big.
Do you foreshadow any issues selling them, or
uh, I'm not sure. Like worst case, I could probably export them to Europe because Europeans would love them. only
so?
only a couple people breed them in the world, honestly. Like Steve Woodward's produced them pretty regularly, and then Jeff Murray, but he hasn't bred them in a while. But he does have a lot of animals still. And then other people who've tried to breed them to have odd pairs just haven't had any success. Cody Joe's bred a couple a few years ago with a different line, which is I have one of the offspring from that. But since then, the female passed away, gravid, and stuff like that. Like some of that happens with them. That's why like Bahama boas themselves are actually like I think 6 or 7 subspecies all together. The ones I have are just strigillatus from the main kind of islands in the Bahamas. So like Nassau and a few of the surrounding islands are the like what is it, the type subspecies or whatnot, the type species, the strigillatus, right? But then you got the Berry Island boa, which is in the hobby, from Andros Island, and the Berry Islands is in the U.S. hobby at least, not here. That's I want to say that's Fowleri, and then Fosteri is the Bimini boa, which was in the hobby, and there might be a couple adults left, but people have just had terrible luck breeding the relic animals, and then females passing away gravid and stuff like that. So who knows if there's even any left of that. And then there's some other ones that were in the hobby, like in the Bible. Uh, Tom Huff from Nova Scotia had cat island boas, which is another subspecies of Bahama that's like a little more lighter colored kind of thing. These animals too, like West Indian boas, will kind of fire up and fire down kind of thing. They'll look better certain times of day or at night compared to others too. And depending on their shed cycle, like sometimes they look dark and then and then you'll catch them at a time where they look super light and look super great. So they're just super cool animals. And then there's a couple other subspecies as well. The cat
So
islands
when
are the Ailurus, but yeah,
when
no,
you're saying
and that's just the
subspecies,
Bahamas
yeah, I was gonna
in
say.
the
So when you talk
subspecies.
about subspecies, are you in more like localities, different islands, and
They're actually
but they're all the
subspecies.
same? They are subspecies. They're
But
not
there's
just
obviously localities because they've grouped these islands together. So technically, they could be from different islands, right? Like the Berry Islands are from Andros Island, is a massive island, and then you got the actual Berry Islands kind of group of islands, which is a lot smaller. But they're called berries from their whatever whoever found them first, I guess.
You know what I find funny is every time you talk about boas, you'll name like I think at sometimes you'll be like the Cape Cocker boas or the
Yeah,
Bahama boas or the anything like that. Most of the places you name, like 1 out of 3, I've already been. I'm like, fuck, man, why didn't I look for boas when I went there? Like I've been to Cape Cocker on that island for like 8 or 9 days, and that island is like 2 kilometers square. Like it's a tiny ass island, and I'm like, why didn't I look for boas, man? Like there's tiny little things I could have found them. Or like you talk about, you're saying Nassau. I thought it was Nassau, but I've been to Nassau like 4 times, man. Why didn't I look for boas? I never even thought about
yeah.
it. Like
Yeah,
sometimes I'm
they
just
they live
there.
in they hide out in people's houses. There's some big animals like I'm gonna pull up the Jeff Murray's site. Him and Michael Sena. Michael Sena's from Germany. He also has some of them. I believe he's some sort of scientist in Germany, but they run the West Indian Boas site, and
I
here they
remember
have
you
like
showing
write
that a
ups.
little
They
while
even
ago.
have the CITES records on these, so you can just look what like Argentum's the silver boa that's only found on one tiny island. They were actually Dustin Smith talked about they were maybe going to try to get some of those into collections to save them because there's one island that they're on, but they canceled that, which kind of sucks. So there's none in captivity of that species. But yeah, the Strigolatus here. There we go. These probably are the adults or either siblings or parents to the animals I have because Jeff runs this site. But yeah, no, it has the full write up on all these and like their descriptions and talks about how they like exhume. What is it? Long Island. Long Island was actually a locality as well in the hobby, I believe. After talking to another gentleman who had them originally in England, brought them to the U.S. and then kind of disappeared, I guess, because yeah. Oh, Eleuthera. That's another one. I was trying to get Eleuthera boas into Canada, but then U.S. Fish and Wildlife didn't like this insufficient amount of. I don't know. You need to, they just didn't have a. They didn't want to approve it for whatever reason, and here they have a size chart of kind of the average snout to vent length, or well, I guess max snout to vent like length recorded. So you got almost 5 meter long Cuban boas at the top end of it, and then at the bottom you got like the little vine boas from the Dominican there, and then everything in between. Uh, let's go to here.
So much
So yeah,
detail on that
there's
website. That's insane.
oh
That is
yeah, and it has
very
it
proud.
covers every West Indian boa from actual like boas in Saint Lucia, so like the Nebulosa and the other ones like that, as well as yeah, it
So you
talks about
name you named Saint Lucia. I've been there too. Fuck, I
yeah,
should have
they
looked.
have cool boas. Oh, this is my pair is in this picture somewhere. That's them being born in 2015.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they even have some of the records of them being kind of born recently, at least. At least
So you,
these, I think these are all Jeff's. So Jeff's produced them 6 times because I don't think he's produced any in the last 6 years. Sena produced one later in 2021. Yeah, eating the ova and then the babies, and then this is how he had them set up in these little teeny containers because they're little teeny boas. So he just kept them kind of like in an incubator style instead of giving them individual heat. They're pretty small.
that's very cool. So you know what the issue is with me with keeping boas? So I've tried keeping boas. I'd say about 3 or 4 times. Every single time I get babies, I raise them up, I keep them for a couple of years. Then they get to the stage where they need an adult cage, and I'm like, do I still really want to keep this? Because then if I give them an adult cage, that takes room for an adult python to be in there, and then I get rid of them. I think I've tried to keep Brazilian rainbow boas twice from Shan, and I've raised them all the way up to like 2.5, 3 years old, and then I'm like, now they need an adult cage, so I get rid of them. I've done it with what is it? Just like morph types of just regular Colombian, just I don't know, boa constrictor, whatever they call it. And every
Red
single
tail.
time, so I feel like if I got these from you, even if they're really cool and they're cool looking, I bet you by the 2 or 3 year stage, I'd probably be finding a home for them again. Because for some
Yeah.
reason, pythons always take the adult cages. There's no, except for maybe emeralds or basins, I don't see myself ever sacrificing in a full size cage for them. It's just the way I work.
Yeah, no, they're cool. I just love them. I don't know why. They're just neat. Like if I breed them, like I'm probably gonna hold back most of them for at least a year just to see what patterns they're gonna go in. Because there's some that like turn out super dark and super melanistic almost, and others are super light and everything in between. So they're just super variable. Like I think they're one of those things. If somebody actually kept a collection of 10 or 20, and they could probably breed them regularly then and actually get them like fully established, at least in Canada, because they require a bit of work, but they're at least to get the baby started. But once they're started, they're pretty solid, honestly. Yeah, here's the Jamaican write up he did on the subflavis. Lots of, and there's actually some with the CITES records they have. Oh yeah, there's Jeff Murray would keep his together. That would be a Jamaican that ate a Jamaican.
Jesus. I just gotta say, boa constrictor imperator. Thank you, Richard, for correcting me. That just shows how much I know about boas.
Yeah, I think now they're just BIs. I think since a while ago now, but it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing. We all know what we're talking about. Yeah, no, there's some neat ones where like Jeff had some really lighter ones, but the Bahamas are not as bad though in terms of the musk. Everybody talks about the West Indian boas being really smelly and all this and musking on you. I haven't been musked on at all by any of my Bahamas. I have 4, and yeah, they're adults, but even the one I got, the one as a juvenile, no issues. So maybe just the Bahamas are a little more kind of okay, good with themselves, but like Puerto Ricans, they're really bitey animals. Bahamas definitely have a food response, but I'd compare it more to like a carpet, right? Where you just maybe touch them with a hook first and then pick them up and they're kind of fine. But yeah, like this super light one's pretty neat. You know,
that's very cool.
These are hard to find. Like all this stuff was in Canada, right? We were actually like the originators of most of this cool stuff, but sadly, not anymore, or at least in very, very low numbers. So it'd be cool to get my hands on some of those in the far future, I guess. Yeah. Anything else you guys are looking forward to coming up?
You want to go first, Shan?
I don't know, the reptile show. I guess that's about the only thing that I'm looking forward to. I'd really like to do like go down herping down in the States, like with Rob or in Texas or something like that, or do Tinley or something. I don't know. I'm up. I really like to do Texas Carpet Fest, and
oh yeah, that looks like it would be a fun
last
time.
year looked really neat. I would have loved to imagine going herping in that that warehouse where they went there. That was awesome. Like at night and
yeah
Reptilandia
is a very cool facility.
or whatever.
It'd be cool to have
exactly
Quetzal on
is,
at some point, and then I think Ari left there now, but Ari
would be a good idea.
Ari and Ryu separately would also be really cool to have on because Ryu works with really cool stuff, and obviously Ari works with the Bolins and has a lot of zoo experience with the Fort Worth Zoo and that in the past.
Yeah, I think they'd be great guests. We should add them on the list. But again, right now, I want to do a couple of Condor shows, at least 1 or 2, because we literally have not done one. And I want to drop down on that. What?
Yeah, I've been talking to Patrick.
I think home.
Have you really?
Yeah. So
what about
I'll
Gary?
try to lock
what
Patrick
about
in for a time, and then I'm not sure if Gary would do it. I don't think he would.
Shavino would be a really, really
He would be
really
cool,
He-
but I just don't think he does too
You
many
don't think he would do
podcasts.
it? No.
I haven't
Well, he
heard him
just
on
does it
all.
like he does MJ's reluctantly as well, right? So I just probably not. But we get to see Bill or Marshall or
Yeah.
He'd be good
one of
for
the other
diamond
40
pythons, too.
chondro breeders.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Like I like to hear those guys, you know.
Actually, even what's his name, Brian Fisher. He bred Parsons chameleons and has been a part of like fish
Excuse
keeping
me.
and saltwater keeping. But he breeds some cool chondros too. That there's a bunch of neat chondro guys that don't just do chondros, so it'd be a fun show all around kind of thing. But that's why Patrick would be so cool because he keeps a bunch of cool different stuff too, from venomous to chondros. Like, yeah, we need Steven back on at some point just to talk venomous maybe or something. But yeah.
Oh, there's been so many, like some of the guests we've brought on that we brought them on for a reason, right? But there's so many different avenue we could have chatted about that. I think the really good ones, I think we should bring them back, right? That's obviously we could.
Warren.
So many of those guests you could do so many times.
You barely talked about was with Warren.
I mean, I was pretty excited about Keith tonight when I saw that you
yeah.
advertised that tonight. I
So
immediately messaged Tom today, and I'm like, oh wow, that's gonna be a good one tonight. He's like, you're welcome anytime, and I'm like, wow, you know, nobody wants to listen to me sometimes, you know. You guys are awesome though. I love you guys. So you're on mute there.
Yeah, let's just let Michael's lips move for the past 30 seconds. He just looks good while he's doing. That look good, buddy.
Yeah. No, we'll get him on. Don't worry. Actually, I just saw during the podcast he hatched out black-headed pythons. so at least
jealous,
he might be sick, but at least he might be feeling a little better, just a little bit.
Now that's an accomplishment in itself, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, seriously.
He spent 4 years. It looks like he spent 4 years trying to breed them because I think he got Craig's animals that Craig was raising up, and then Craig was like, I don't really want to breed these, and then Keith got them, and Keith's the man, right? So it's cool to see him be successful with them finally.
And we all know the hardship with those, right? Like, I mean, everything can go wrong. Like, look at Lucas Lee. He's been having issues with them too, right?
Lucas is.
Unless
I don't feel
Derek
bad at
Roddy.
all about him for one thing. Do you know how many things he keeps hitting? It is.
I know that, but still, at the end,
man.
But he's still having hard time with the blackheads. So it just goes. It goes to show you that's hard.
For the first time, he gets eggs. He puts.
I know.
Scales, he gets eggs. He puts jungles, he gets eggs.
He
puts
doing diamonds again this year.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything he breeds. He got like what else? Like
Stimsons. He just hatched out brooms. Stimsons.
Everything. That man. It doesn't even matter what it is. He puts them together and he'll get eggs.
And my favorite, indigos.
That guy is killing it. Like I'm a litlittle jealous.
Yeah, and that's pretty hard to do too. Indigos. So I've heard some pretty good stories about Crutchfield putting indigos together and either the male or the female eating each other. Like, so it happens, right?
It definitely can happen. It's the more, not that it's an issue, but they can definitely tear each other up as well, kind of thing. But because they're used to it, like it within a shed or two, they're back to normal kind of thing. But yeah, I don't think John Michaels deals with cannibalism as much because you're pairing them in December when you're keeping them 55 or 60 at night at least. Like you definitely I don't think you brumate them. You do them more like carpets where you cool them at night and kind of bring them up a touch during the day kind of thing. Because Florida, you get some days where it's close to freezing maybe, but then it could easily warm up to 70 degrees, at least in the sun, right? Like even if it's not warm, they just go out in the sun, they're a jet black animal, they're going to heat up pretty quickly kind of thing. But yeah, no,
I just remember asking Tom about that, and he says I got rid of them because he says he lost either 2 males or 2 females one year. And I was like,
I think it's also, I'm not sure how legal it is to keep cooperi. Like I think you can kind of, but it's one of those like Adam said, it's like one of those like gray areas of Florida kind of thing where like they're native and they're protected, and they're an ESA animal. But yeah, no, they're cool. I wouldn't mind indigos at some point, but yeah.
I keep asking Lucas to just send one up and call it a black king snake or something, or a black milk snake or something. and set it
Yeah,
up
probably.
as that and see what happens.
You can get Texas.
I
Texas
don't want
are not
Texas.
protected anymore.
I want
Yeah.
the red chins.
Yeah. I don't
But
know.
it's
I
got a
love the
funny
Texas
thing,
and
right?
the Sonorans.
They kind of look like fully black except for that little red thing. So if you get an officer that doesn't know what he's talking about, I don't know. I'm just joking, but I always kind of
Don't try that,
right?
kids.
Right? Don't try that. I'm just joking, everybody. But yeah, no.
Yeah. Alrighty. Are you
Anyway,
guys ready to wrap it up then?
Yeah, I think so. And I'd like it to be noted that I'm not falling asleep and I don't look half dead on the camera. So I think the 7 o'clock start might be our new thing. I'm just gonna get the
I
kids.
feel better. I feel
Yeah.
better. I don't feel as tired. Like in another hour, I'd be done though.
I think this is.
Yeah.
I think moving forward, if you're cool with it, Mike. Let's try to do
Oh
a
yeah.
7 o'clock start.
Doesn't really affect anything for me, kind of thing.
No.
And I'm sure we'll have the odd shows that we'll do in the morning as well, which I don't mind either because it's then like, oh, we got a whole day to do stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of nice when you do it Saturday morning. Like, oh, I don't even have a podcast to do tomorrow.
Yeah. Like now I have the weekend to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no.
you can tell your 12 girlfriends to wait, and you'll be there later.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to hit on, Shan, or are you good to?
No, I'm good. I think we had some good chats tonight. It was good.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I always enjoy talking with you guys.
Yeah, I think
I'm a little worried that I might not be able to get rid of some snakes this year, even though I'm not going to have that great of a year. Means I don't think it's going to be that. I'm worried about the Brettles. I had a hard time getting rid of them. I'm sure Grant will pick them up or something.
if you drop the
Somebody.
price, they will all go.
Yeah.
The question is, what's the lowest price you're willing to let them go, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I
like
went pretty low
I would probably buy.
I went
some
pretty
too,
low
kind of
last
thing.
year. I went pretty low last year, so
Everything sells at the right price, man. If you set
Yeah,
$100 for a Brettles, I can guarantee they'll sell wholesale. You know it,
Yeah, for sure.
because they can make their money. Like Ty, if you gave him all of them for $100, he would take them all. It's money for him. He'll sell them for $200-300, right? So
I think I sold them last year at wholesale for 125.
yeah, 125. And again,
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's money, and it's not the greatest price, but it is what it is, man. And you move them. Sometimes it's all about moving. And keep in mind, Shan, we're always worried every year about not selling everything. We always come down to like a dozen or so snakes left over from the prior year. So I think we'll, just like every year, we'll figure it out, and
Yeah,
it'll work out.
cool.
All right, Shan, you want to drop your plugs? How do people can get rid of you? Get rid of you. Shit.
Get rid of me?
Get a hold of you.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm trying to get rid of you right now. So why don't you tell people?
Right? Hurry this up, right? No. So Shan Melanson on Facebook. I've been checking my Instagram a little bit more, but Messenger is my thing usually, or Facebook. I'm always willing to chat snakes or anything. Like I said, I am checking my Instagram a little bit more. But yeah, so Shan Melanson on both of them. I do go by Snake Frenzy here and there, but usually it's Shan Melanson. You can leave me a message and I'll get back to you.
Well, thanks, buddy, for hopping on. And
no problems. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
anytime. For the podcast, it is Reptile Rejects on Instagram. Michael will be the one replying to your thousands of messages. For Michael, it's Michael Gillian on Facebook. For myself, Dominic Carbonneau on Facebook. Our Dom's Reptiles on Instagram. For anybody that's live right now, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate all the inputs. Appreciate the messages. We do listen to them, or we do read them. Sometimes we acknowledge them. If you are on watching us live, please click the little button, subscribe. We appreciate it. We will love to hit 1,000 subscribers, although I figure by our 10th year we'll get there. And for anybody listening to us on any of the podcasts, thank you. Click the little button, subscribe, and recommend us to your one or two friends that you have. And except for that, thanks a lot for joining us. We will see you guys all next week. And ciao, peeps.
Thanks, guys.